Giving strong boomer energy tonight. I'm on time though. Look at me, being on time. I have lots of snacks. I haven't eaten enough today. I'm a little bit of a mess. Forewarning, I'm a little bit of a mess. Second warning, rearranged my screen. Kind of wanted to see how this went for us. Kind of want this guy to be bigger. Hi, Betty Crocker Homemaker. How are you? I'm going to edit this again. Oh, no, I don't want to do that, actually. No, that's good. I think it's good like that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was, very much behind today. Very much behind. So, just finished these slides. I'm eating these tortilla chips. This is the definition of trying my best. Because should I have made an actual dinner? It's so pretty outside. I remember when I first started streaming, it would already be dark outside by 7. And now it's gorgeous outside. It feels weird to do it when it's bright outside. So, Kirby Face, thanks for resubscribing for 2 months. Thank you. But anyway, I should have made an actual dinner. But time got away from me. And then it was 7:30. And I was going to eat potato chips. But I was like, no. I should eat the blue corn tortilla chips even though I don't have salsa. Because this is it has more nutrients in it. You know what I mean? It adds a little more oomph. Doesn't have as much fat. It has a little more, we're in the chat. Time to learn how our government fucked up women for years. Do you watch Hasan Piker? I don't know how to answer that because I don't watch his streams, but I know who he is and I've watched some stuff. You know what I mean? I don't watch him, but I know him. I don't know him. You gotta watch? I know. So, let me tell you how I've interacted with him. I have never interacted with him, but let me tell you my experiences with him. Well, I know of him. Exactly. We love a nutrient queen eating tortilla chips. These are good. They're very good. And on time queen today, no. They're very good with spinach and artichoke dip. It's my favorite chip for spinach and artichoke dip. But Banner Bread, I finally caught you live. Hell yeah. I really wish I had salsa though. Okay, so Hasan Piker. Basically, I used to watch Frenemies. Loved Frenemies. And then when that happened to Frenemies, public salsa in the deli is elite. I like the La Mexicana brand too. Then when Frenemies ended and Ethan, that's his name, right? Ethan and Hasan Piker did the Leftovers show. Flopsy69 subscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Shout out to you. Thank you. When they started doing that show Leftovers, I watched it a couple times, but I was just not super into it. I don't know. But I like his work. I follow him on Twitter. I like the stuff that I've seen from him, but I'm not familiar enough to be I love him because I haven't seen enough. You know what I mean? The hold that Frenemies had on the world. You're right, Flopsy. They truly had a chokehold on all of us. They absolutely had a chokehold on all of us. Honestly, was a fan of Ethan and Hasan separately, but now that they have a show together, it's not it. Interesting. That's interesting. I'm kind of done with these, I think. And I'm not that hungry, but I know I need to eat. You know what I mean? Let me show you what I'm drinking today. Mike's Hard White Freeze. I was going to try and make a joke about being a white person and drinking a white freeze, but I couldn't think of anything. So if you think of something, feel free to drop it in the chat. What color notes, friend? Guys, Lena needs to know what color notes we want. Please participate in class. Also, let me send the Nearpod again. If you want the Nearpod, here it is. I thought I was just a hater for not liking Leftovers, but it's just not very good. Yeah, so I only watched the first couple episodes, and I just felt it didn't have a flow to it. And I was you know what? It's a new show. You have to give them grace. It takes a second to get a flow. And so I was giving him grace. But then I was just like, it's not happening. Like after like the third or fourth one I think I watched, I was like, either it's the chemistry's there and it works, or it doesn't. You know what I mean? I want to eat this little ice cream though. Mike is gonna watch you for a second. Well, I can grab my Trader Joe's ice cream that I already melted a little bit because I put it over here. I'm gonna see if this is good. It's like brownie and then coffee ice cream. Coffee, ice cream, and alcohol combined. What a good and lovely combo. Have you tried the Truly margaritas? I don't think I like them. I think I tried them. And I think it like wasn't really the move for me. Okay, so let me look at what people are putting on here. So this is our question. Which current government leader is the least educated on women's health and contraception, yet still makes laws about those matters? Feel free to put it in the chat as swell. We're going to do this a little more like that. And we're going to do, I'm trying to play with my screen to really get like what I want to accomplish on here. Okay, that's a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah, that's better. All right. Do you have any pets? I do not have any pets. I'm not really like, I like animals a lot. I love other people's animals, but I don't really like having animals like, I don't think I would like having a dog in my house. Like I get home and like I really like it to be extremely quiet and like no one to talk to me. I like the sound of my own voice. So I don't think I'd be a very good dog mom because I think I would get like annoyed. And plus I'm like never home. Like literally, if I'm home, it probably means I'm doing one of a couple things. If I'm in this apartment that y'all see me in, I'm either on stream talking to you all. That's option A. Option B, working out. My Peloton is here. I come here every day to exercise. Or option C, working from home because it's Wednesday. I don't sleep here. I don't remember the last time I slept in this apartment. Yes, I do. It was like 3 weeks ago or like a month ago. Does anyone know any good non-alcoholic beer and cocktails? This is not good. I've been wanting to cut back on drinking because hangover, but I still want to feel like I'm drinking. So my mom actually quit drinking recently, and she was like, I'm not going to say she was very into drinking, like she was a huge drinker, but she was like very into like pretty drinks and drinks going out with people. Like it was the social and the ritual that she was really into. So now this is the drink that she gets. And you can order it at any bar. Because that's a problem. The best mocktails have really niche ingredients. So it's like you can't order it. She gets like a sparkling water with some dash, like a decent sized dash of cranberry. And then she gets a lime on it and asks them to put it in like a bar glass. And she said that feels like special to her. Because the way it looks, it tastes good. It's still not like super, super sugary, so it doesn't mess her stomach up. Because that was why I hope she's cool with me sharing this. She stopped drinking because it was giving her stomach issues. So that's her go-to mocktail. Other ones that I like is like most bartenders can make a virgin margarita that's pretty good. Like you can make it with like orange juice and Sprite and just leave out the tequila. That's another good option. Virgin margarita. What else? There's a lot of good mocktails. Look up like best mocktails and there's lots of cute little easy recipes or like easy mocktails. Any frozen drink. Hi from Australia. Oh my God, that's making my fucking life. Thank you. You're in Australia? I fucking love Australia. Australia, I went once when I was a teenager, so I don't have like a lay of the land, and I'm not really qualified to say this. But to me, Australia was like if America was cleaner and the people were nicer. You know what I mean? Not from a bar, but kombucha. I hate kombucha. I want to like it so bad, but I don't. Too many things there that can kill me between bugs and animals. That does freak me out. I was trying to find non-alcoholic drinks I could buy from stores pre-made, you know? So what you can do, non-alcoholic drinks you can buy from stores pre-made. This is almost pre-made. Buy margarita mix. It does not have alcohol in it. Buy margarita mix and then like club soda or Sprite or something like that and put those two things together with some fresh lime. That's as close to pre-made as I can give you. Or you can just water down the margarita mix or just drink it. It's a little sweet though. Other great option. Go to the bar, Now, as a bartender, they probably have great ideas. Lots of bartenders have like a go-to mocktail that they invented to drink at work. All the bartenders I've worked with could make really good mocktails that were like niche and cool that they had invented. I love how we're all supporting your sober journey of getting non-alcoholic drinks. I like that mocktails are becoming more popular. I think it's very good. Like, I'm not against drinking. I drink. Not a ton. I have one drink probably 3 or 4 times a week. So like 4 drinks a week, which is not that much. This is not good. I'm going to throw this away. But I think it's really good, like health-wise and whatever. I know some people would mix pineapple juice with coconut cream. Interesting. Is this going to be available to view after I'm at work right now? Yes, and Narcobarca, this is going to be on YouTube forever, and it'll be on Twitch for 2 weeks. Twitch automatically takes everything down after 2 weeks, which is like understandable for what this platform is, but kind of sad for me. So it's all also on YouTube. Oh, I feel like I'm at a buffet right now, just living my best life. Sorry if anybody doesn't like chewing noises. I also notice my views go up when I'm eating, which is like kind of concerning. I just noticed that. Is anyone here being creepy? Please don't be creepy. I get the worst hangovers, so I've been trying to cut down a smidge. Def not going sober, but yeah. So I actually was telling my boyfriend, I think these are making my anxiety worse. My anxiety's been a lot worse the last couple weeks, and I've been drinking more. So I bought some... Oh, another good one. I bought some Italian soda from Trader Joe's, like the sparkling fruit juice soda, as like a replacement, and I really like it. It's good. Okay, I'm going to throw this away. While I throw this away, be telling me your answer to our question. Which government leaders are the least educated on women's health and contraception, yet still make laws and statements about those matters? So far, Bitch McConnell appears to be winning. Any man, Rick Scott, Ted Cruz... Y'all are going in on this. He is an ex-government leader. Oh my God. So continue to answer this. Have you had Beverly at the World of Coke? Yuck. Oh my God. I kind of want it though. I had it when I was a kid. I want to try it again. Okay. Continue to answer this. I'm going to throw this away. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Also, look at my outfit. I have the Juicy Couture shorts on. So cute. I returned the top because the strap was weird and I didn't like the way it fit. But anyway, that's the update. I'm going to throw this away, but I'm not far away. I don't know if you can hear me. When I come back, let me know if you could hear me this whole time, because that's going to be a game changer if you could hear me the whole time. Kanye is pro-life. Kanye is a mess. That's what Kanye is. Oh my God, you could? That's nice. I should get like, wait, I have an idea, you guys. You guys, I have an idea. So you know like the Hillary Duff mic, like from the Hillary Duff movie where it's like the little mic and it was like bedazzled? I should get one of those so that I can be mobile. Oh my God, this is the other thing. Okay, I'm so excited. We're getting so distracted today, but I don't really care. I'm in a really good mood. So I'm moving. I'm moving in July, and this is my plan of, please bedazzle your mic. I should. So this is my plan when I move. Is I'm looking at 1-bedrooms or like big studios, and I'm gonna set up my living room for streaming. So I'm gonna mount my TV on the wall, and then I'm gonna have like this desk set up like underneath the TV, and then have like my ring light and my camera on this desk. But I won't be in this chair. I want to do it like so I'd be sitting on my couch, and I can teach from like the iPad, because I can like make my iPad the screen share thing, and so then that would also be like a little less strain on my computer. So I'm excited because I'll probably have to take like a week or 2 off from streaming while I'm moving, but in July we're gonna have a big glow up, and I'm just gonna like set it up very differently. I want to bring the Note. I don't know what it'll be like because I haven't found a place yet, but I kind of decided that I wanted to do like a living room stream setup, and then plus like, I don't know, that's just like a good 2-in-1 use of the space, because I'm moving into a place myself with no roommates, so it's going to be like a smaller space than I'm used to here. I won't really have space to have like a huge ass living room and a huge ass desk area, so I'm just going to do a 2-in-1, and I think it'll be more comfy cozy. So I might end up selling this chair, but we got good use out of her for a couple months, so whatever. Yes. Do you have regular streaming times? So I regularly stream on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30-ish. I'm usually late. I'm usually here at like 7:40, but today I was on time. Today we are giving on time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Can I buy the chair off of you? Actually, yeah, probably. We live like kind of in the same geographic area. That might work out. I'll let you know. Once I get the place and figure out if I can bring it or not, I'll let you know. Because I'm not opposed to bringing it, but if it doesn't look good, I'm not doing it, and I don't think it will. I love that people are turning their one-bedroom apartments into one big-ass bedroom, and their actual bedroom is a walk-in closet. Yeah. So I'm looking at either one-bedrooms or like big studios that have like an off area. You know what I mean? Because that's my thing. I'm okay with a studio apartment. I'm just not going to sleep in my kitchen. You know? Like there needs to be a corner where I can like hang some, you know, like there needs to be like a, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's go ahead and do our stream though. It's already 7:46 and we have a lot of slides this time. I kind of got carried away this one, but actually no, I didn't, because normally the slides have a lot of text on them and this time they don't, but there's more of them. So get one of those privacy screens for your bedroom area. So what I was thinking of actually doing is like, let me show you. I'll find a pic of it on my phone. What is this? Okay, so I want to get like this type of vibe. Like I can't find it. I'm finding it. I want to get, you'll know what you'll see the vision when I show it to you. So like, oh my God, and now it's trying to open the Amazon app. Is it just me, or has technology gotten shittier in the last 3 years? Like I feel like shit has gotten shittier, you know? Okay, so these little like door hanging things, like with the wooden bead door hanging things, like it's for a doorway. I want to get multiple of them and do it like across the kitchen so that it's kind of like separated, but it's still one room. You know what I mean? Bead curtains. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it would be a vibe. Okay. Let's see what we're thinking of government leaders. That's so cute. Be careful with tangles. Yeah, I have to like, I'll read the reviews and look up like what other people have done. I think the beaded ones don't get tangled as easily as like the fabric ones, I would imagine. Oh, the chat broke. Damn it. Thank you, Lena. My anger is not at you. I keep burping. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Chat has been restored. The chat broke. This is why we can't have nice things. Test the hanging things. You get the noise they make gets really specific. I was so I actually, part of the reason I was like rushing to get on here is because I had therapy from 6 to 7 and I was actually talking to her about like me and noises. So thank you for bringing that up. How do you keep control of a classroom? You just got to girl boss it. I don't know. I also had relatively easy kids. Like I really, whenever people ask me for classroom management advice, I'm like happy to share what worked for me, with the caveat that like I had very agreeable students who like had good vibes. Like there were only a few kids I encountered in my teaching career that I really was like, why can't I just yet? Did you ask her about the TISM yet? Today I did. Yeah, we chatted about it. I'm not doing anything about it. Like, there's nothing to like do about it, but I'm not going to get tested or anything until I feel like, if I decide later that I want to, I will, but I don't feel the need to, you know, like if I don't know, I'm not that into labels like for myself. Mercury retrograde is quite literally kicking my ass. I don't know how to stop it. I've never felt so retrograde this hard in my life. This is not the worst one I've been through, but it's been up there. Like, it's been up there in quantity, but not quality, if that makes sense. Like, a ton of shit has been going wrong for me, but none of it has been serious. And other retrogrades, like, a ton of shit would go wrong, and some of it was really serious. So I'm like, okay, whatever. How very Gen Z of you. I got a soft diagnosis, so it's not in my record in case I ever get a divorce. Wait, you're married? Why did I not know you were married? Did I know you were married? Perfect explanation. It's just, that's what I mean. Like, I think labels and diagnosis can be helpful to, like, get more insight, but, like, I just don't feel the need. Oh, you're not married? Okay. I just don't feel the need for it. Like, if I decide later I want to, 4 planets are in Aries right now. That makes sense, because I'm fucking suffering in this bitch. Oh God. Look at all these terrible men and Amy Cody Bryan or whatever her name is. Do we truly have to list all those names? Clarence Thomas, Kavanaugh's up there. Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Ugh, she's the worst. This retrograde is okay so far. The last one, my boyfriend cheated on me. Migs Minaj, not your first time chat of your boyfriend cheating on you. Also, thanks for the follows. Soom Somi, Cartwheels, Italicized Introvert. I love that username, Italicized Introvert. Expestage. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Okay. Any male legislator, Ron DeSantis. I want to meet Ron DeSantis so bad, and I wish that, like, I could meet him with no one there. Like, I just want to wreck his shit. Like, I just want to fight him and argue with him. That's, like, my number one passion. Okay, so this is super late, but happy late Teacher Appreciation Week. I already did this on Monday, so if you were here on Monday, you're getting a repeat. But I have 3 months of Nearpod Gold, and this is the code for it. You can also get a link. I'll send the link in the chat right now. You can also email me. Like, I know you're probably not on your work computer right now if you're a teacher or whatever, but you can email me and I'll send it to you. But it's 3 months of Nearpod Gold. I'm not sure when the code expires because obviously it's 3 months and it's about to be summer. So if I were you, I would like wait a couple days because I did just email them this morning and asked if the code expires because I would want to activate it in August. Can we tag team on Ron DeSantis? The last Mercury retrograde, I was accused by police of stealing my mom's car when I didn't. Hashtag slay. Oh my God, what was your mom's stance? Was she on your side or their side? First live with you. It's very chill. I'll be coming back. Also, I'm an aspiring teacher, so slay. Oh my God, hi. You can use the Nearpod Gold too. Okay, so yeah, if anyone wants Nearpod Gold for 3 months, I hooked y'all the fuck up. Actually, my boyfriend hooked y'all the fuck up. Look, I have a pimple on my shoulder. I'm gonna pop it. Oh, never mind. No, I'm not. That hurts. She told them I didn't take it because I can't legally drive, and they still question me. Jesus Christ. Oh, what's the Nearpod code for the class? Let me share this with you right now. But yeah, if you need the Nearpod Gold, hit me up. I got you. That's my teacher appreciation gift to you all. Okay, so what are we learning about today? We are learning about the history of birth control and abortion. We're mainly going to be talking about legislation in the United States. Italicized Introvert went from followed to subscribed. That's what we love to see. Banana Bread also subscribed with Prime. Thank you both. I appreciate you. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. Oh, that's the other thing. Once I move in July, when I get a better setup, I also want to eventually retire my MacBook Pro and get the desktop MacBook so that I can stream a little better with like a higher quality computer. Why pay for classes if we can just join your lives? This is very educational. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you, Soom Somi. I appreciate it. With Prego Test Flash with this GIF. I wish Prego Test Flash with this GIF when it was negative. I would pay more for that. Someone should get on that. What does it mean to subscribe? Okay, so basically, if you subscribe, it costs a little bit of monies. Unless you have Amazon Prime, then you get some for the free. And then it gives me a little bit of that monies. Most of the money does go to our corporate overlords, but half of it goes to me. And it's just like one nice of you, like you don't have to. There's a lot of people will set up their chat so you have to be subscribed to chat, but I turned that off because like you don't have to pay money to be here. That's fucking annoying. We're all here to learn. So one is you like just to be nice to me, but the other thing is then you get the emotes. That one I cannot give to everybody. I tried. I sent a couple emails and it seems like a no-go, but my little custom emotes that I'm going to be making more of them. You get access to those. So it's like, here, I'm putting some of them in the chat right now. So you can see there's like the thumbs down of the American flag. There's my little government picture, me like crying. There's a couple pictures of me crying, and then Mike. So I'm going to be making more of those. But yeah, so that's what subscribing means. So it's kind of just like a way to support a streamer, but it's not required at all. And I'm thrilled to have you here, even if you're not subscribed, because that's what I'm here for, to have a good time. Me subscribing so I can use the ID photo. It's a good draw. It's a good draw. And Jack C. Vanderson subscribed as with Prime as well. Thank you. Okay. So quick note, because we're going to be talking about birth control and abortion and all that stuff, is like I've seen a lot of discourse around this online. Some people in my comment section on TikTok have been talking about this, where a lot of people are in favor of using gender neutral language to talk about these things, because not just women get pregnant, trans people get pregnant, non-binary people experience pregnancy, intersex people can experience pregnancy. It's a variety of people that can experience pregnancy and that are affected by legislation around these things. So a lot of people feel that we should use gender neutral language when talking about these things, meaning they got pregnant, like laws banning birth control for people instead of women. Like that's been kind of a discourse that's been happening. So that's not what we're here to talk about in terms of that discourse. What's right, what's wrong, that's like not my business, that's whatever. But yes, to do gender neutral language, exactly. So my like kind of preface to acknowledge this, because I know that a lot of people do feel that it should be gender neutral, is that I agree, but also sometimes I'm speaking from my perspective. I obviously like have said I identify as a woman. My pronouns are she, her. So like I am speaking from my perspective. So sometimes when I'm saying women and me, like it's because I identify as a woman. So I wanted to say that like I'll probably end up using both. Like sometimes I'll say women and sometimes I'll say the gender neutral language. I'm trying to be better about saying the gender neutral language, but I just kind of wanted to acknowledge it and talk about it. And I also think like I've seen some disagreement about this, of people being like, oh, we shouldn't use gender neutral language because it's an issue where gender is important and like misogyny impacts this, which I agree with. And like, I don't think that's mutually exclusive. Like we can be inclusive and acknowledge these people while also still acknowledging that like a lot of the legislation around these things comes from misogyny and comes from the patriarchy and things like that. And that like gender is heavily tied to this issue. Like we can, both those things can be true, you know? I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit and kind of share what I think. I'm not really like, I think it's not even an argument. Like it's like, there's no argument there. It's like, should we be using gender neutral language? Should we not? Like, I think that's kind of like an unnecessary argument to have because it's a nuanced issue. So it's just going to kind of depend what you're talking about. Like you're not always going to use gender neutral language and you're not always going to use you know, like it's just depending on the nuance of what you're talking about. So I don't think there's like a catch-all solution is what I mean. Part of the misogyny is about control. These assholes had their way. No gender conforming person would be able to live authentically. Yeah, exactly. It's like they're all intertwined and there's so much nuance. So it's not fair to be like, oh, you have to use this type of language and you shouldn't use that type of language. Like there's just so much nuance. It just depends what you're talking about. Just like be respectful and be inclusive. You know what I mean? So we're going to start like way back. We're mainly going to be focused on the US today, but we're going to start like way back in the ancient times. Fair warning, this is like from a PBS article. Like y'all know I use reliable sources, but I am not familiar with this time period. So like I'm not familiar with ancient history. So if anything on here is like misrepresentative, I'm really sorry. I trust PBS, so I'm assuming it's like pretty good. But I'm trying to tell you that this is not my area of expertise, so I apologize if any mistakes were made. So one of the oldest references to birth control is in the Bible, where Genesis men are called upon to practice coitus interruptus, commonly known as the withdrawal method, not Genesis. It was from the Bible. It's in the Bible. We're talking about the Bible. You're at church right now. This is literally church. We're at church camp. This is VBS. Welcome to VBS. Imagine if you dropped your kid off at VBS and I was the teacher. Hi. Why am I a pug dog? Okay. And then 384 to 322 BC, pull-out game strong. The Bible said pull-out game strong. Damn, pulling out because Skyman said to. Literally, I'm going to be at the doctor and be like, Sky Daddy said the pull-out method worked. It's in the Bible. So, like, I don't think I should be held accountable for this situation. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. It was a little too bright on me. I was jealous of all the VBS kids. I'm Catholic and had nothing like it. The Catholics are not known for their fun activities, I've noticed. They're not really into like making it engaging and fun. I'm not religious. I don't know that much about religion, but that is one thing I have noticed is the Catholics are not super into the fun parts. So Greek philosopher Aristotle is thought to be the first person to propose using natural chemicals such as cedar oil, lead ointment, or frankincense oil as spermicide. Spermicide kills sperm, so it's like a chemical that sperm. And then 23 to 79 AD, Pinley, a Roman writer of natural history, counsels his readers to refrain from sex to avoid pregnancy. He's the first known advocate of abstinence as birth control. He seems fucking lame. First off the bat, he seems not that cool. And on the 8th day, the pull-out method was created. And then 1725 to 1798, Casanova included in his memoir details of his experimental forms of birth control. He recounts his attempts to use an empty rind of half a lemon peel as a cervical cap. So I guess he just like shoves a lemon peel up your coochie and then fucks you is what's happening. Also, trigger warning for the next slide. It's a meme, but I need to give a trigger warning for that meme. It's a James Corden trigger warning. But I thought this was a good meme. I just couldn't not use this GIF when I found it. You know what I mean? Like when I looked up lemon and Giphy and found this one, I was like, this was made for this. Like I wish it wasn't him, but I kind of like, ew, I need a James Corden trigger warning. Thank you. You know, like that's important to me. I want to provide trigger warnings on all necessary topics. James Corden is one of them. I'm going to take a screenshot of this because this is funny. People used to use sponges with vinegar shoved up their coocies, right? Also that we're going to talk about, not that directly, but the vinegar, yeah. Use this as the class photo. I'm not using James Corden as the class photo. I'm sorry. That's not an option. I think I know what meme I want to use, but I want you all to guess. Okay, this is going to be such a fun game. Also, this is on the game. At the end, lemon is one of the answers. Like, it's going to ask you what fruit it was, and lemon is the answer. So if you stay till the game at the end, that's the answer, is lemon. But what was I about to say? Okay, so I think I know what meme I want to use. I want you to try and guess which meme I want to use. So when we're looking at the memes, when you think it's the one that I have in mind, say something. It's not this one. I'm not using him in the cover photo or in the, what's it called? Thumbnail. All right, so I want to go through an example of birth control. It's a little more in depth. Those were kind of some general ones, but let's talk about ancient Egypt. Birth control and abortion were well documented in ancient Egypt. Abortion and birth control have existed like since recorded human history. Like we've been on that shit since day one, which is understandable. That was kind of loud. I'm really sorry. That was embarrassing. That's the kind of negative thing about streaming. Like if I do something stupid on TikTok, I can just be like, that never happened, and just not post it. But on here, it's like we're already all here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. You have to be mindful. Also, I know I say this every time, but like me and TikTok are not good right now. Really not. Which is weird because my videos are doing well. I don't understand it. But anyway. People are being annoying. Is James on the game? No, James Corden is not on the game. Not a part of the game. Sorry, I'm looking at the video I posted about this to make sure no one needed. What happened with them making you private? Oh, so they like put my account on private and then took it off. It was a glitch and it happened to a lot of other people and it happened to both my accounts, but it's fine now. It was very weird. Very much weird. Okay, so let's talk about ancient Egypt. I just really need to know how people in ancient times knew how to conceive. It's the human urge. It's really the human urge. And then they were like, oh shit, that happens, I guess. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it. I think they just figured it out by like logic. Like they were like, oh, if I don't do that, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like I think they just kind of put two and two together. Birth control and abortion were well documented. There has been early documented description of birth control, the use of, this is in the game too, honey, acacia, I don't know, leaves and lint placed in the vagina to block sperm. Also, did you guys know that the word vagina, like literally the origin of the word, I don't remember what it is, it means sheath. Isn't that awful? I hate that. I don't like it. Sheath? Not Acacia Brindley. You just pulled that name from like the depths of my brain. What's she up to? I forgot about her. Last I saw, she had 2 kids and one of them was like a newborn and I think it was born really early and like had some health issues, but like it was going to be okay. Oh, this is why we need to reclaim. I don't want to get like kicked off Twitch, the C word. Acai. Oh, is that the same thing as like an acai bowl? I'm sorry, lint? Yeah, I don't really know the lint. My guess with the lint is maybe the lint is to like soak it up. Like maybe their logic is like, oh, these things will like prevent it from getting up in there. She's a mommy vlogger last I saw. She has a baby. I'm further behind than you. Ain't no way I would let a man convince me to put lint inside of me. He's like, babe, let's just try it this one time. She quit. She semi-regularly steals and scams people. Oh my God, this is escalating so quickly. What's happening? She steals from people and scams people? What? I was never following her that close. Like, even in her OG days, like, where she was, like, mega famous and everyone on Tumblr was obsessed with her, I didn't follow her then. She got canceled one time because she stole people's Lightroom filters and sold them. Oh, that's annoying. Why would you do that? Just make your own. She has 3 kids now. Oh, she has 3 kids now, and the middle child has a birth defect. Okay, so that's where I left off, was after the second one was born. I remember I watched her like birth vlog of her having that baby. She got canceled for calling the vagina a sheath. Wait, are you joking? Is that just a really weird coincidence, or are you joking? I'm assuming you're joking. What if we met at the Nile and I put some lint in you, some man in ancient Egypt? Oh my God. Oh, babe, trust me, I did hold 2 loads of laundry today. He's like scraping the little dryer ball out and he's like, hey. Okay, so they also had other methods as well. You can see there's like some fucking descriptions here of a mixture of honey and sodium carbonate. I'm not a chemist. I should have prepared more for this stream. And then also a pessari, I don't know what that is, from crocodile dung. Dung is shit. I do know what that means. Dung is shit. I know what that means. And then this is the OG birth control method. This is not 100% effective. I've had a friend that this worked very poorly for, but it's a little bit effective. Is breastfeeding can be used for birth control purposes, and they would breastfeed for 3 years for birth control purposes. I'm sure it was also, you know, I'm assuming in 1550 BC they also had a formula shortage, like we do now. That was a joke. I shouldn't joke about that, but you know, I'm trying to make light of a negative situation. And then here's that same thing, the Book of Genesis with the coitus interruptus. Someone said coitus interruptus sounds like a Harry Potter spell, and it absolutely does. Who was that? Lena. Yes, coitus interruptus does sound like a Harry Potter spell. What that sheath do? What that sheath do, girl? Psst. What that sheath do, girl? Speaking of lactation, did you know you can induce lactation without even being pregnant? I kind of want to try. That would be such a funny prank. I'm fucked up. Why would I, like, do that as a prank? This is like, you know, in New Girl, when Winston, like, is it Winston? Where every prank he does is either, like, not a prank, like it's nothing, or it's way too fucking far. That's me. I'm not good at pranks. Oh my God, I got a new bracelet. So you guys know my evil eye bracelet? So it fell off, and you're not supposed to wear them after they fall off, but it fell off and then someone returned it to me. Like it fell off and I had no idea where it went and it was gone forever. And then someone put it on my desk, and so I put it back on, but I got kind of freaked out because you're not supposed to put it back on. So I bought a new evil eye bracelet and I want to show it to you. And part of me needs affirmation because I don't know if I like it, because my old one had big evil eyes that I was really into, and this one has baby evil eyes. Like, I like it, and I think I'm just getting used to the change, but I don't know. Do you guys like it? Would Aphrodite support birth control? Kind of left field. I think she would. I don't know a ton about that. Trans women are able to feed their babies with lactation induction. Oh my God, science is crazy. Our bodies and science are crazy. It slays, but the old one was iconic. I loved the old one. I loved Dante bracelets. Oh, we like it? I think it's pretty. We'll see. We will see. Yeah. I like it. I just wish the evil eyes were a little bit bigger. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's keep going. So now we're going to move on to like the United States and more modern history. So basically, like, we were just trying to figure our shit out, and we had no birth control until like the mid 1800s. We started trying to figure out like what more modern birth control is. So that's why we skipped a bunch of time, because there like wasn't a ton of progress. Where do you get evil eye bracelets? So the one that I had previously, I bought in Puerto Rico from like a little store that sold like crystals and stuff like that. I was there on vacation. and I bought it. It was only $5, which I think was a mistake, and lasted a really long time. Before that, I had one that I bought from like a store in the mall that has a lot of like Moroccan stuff. Like they have a lot of like lamps and stuff like that. And then this one, I bought it from Etsy. Evil eye bracelets, you're supposed to get them as a gift. It's supposed to be like, oh, someone gives it to you and that's why it protects you. But I don't know. I think spirituality is personal, and I don't abide by like to me, like me buying it for myself as a gift is just as powerful as someone else buying it for me as a gift. Like if anything, it's more of a gift to me and makes it more special, is the way that I feel about it. The bracelet fell off because it was protecting you from all the curses your former principal kept sending you, literally. The mail gifted it to you. Yeah, it's like I bought it as a gift for me because I love me and I want to protect me, which is like I should be the most important one there, is my feelings about it. Okay, so let's get into like birth control and science and all that shit. We're going to kind of talk about like, we're going to go through like the science of how it was created, and then we're going to talk about like legislation and then science of improvement, and then we're going to talk about like Roe versus Wade and like current legislation today is the plan for tonight. So buckle in. I need to spend my channel points, so I'm interested to see how this makes my message look. Ooh. I don't know. It didn't come through on the chat for some reason. That's weird. Let me see if mine comes through, if the chat's broken. Interesting. Redeem highlighted my message. It comes through on mine. Let me try and reply to you. It does. Weird. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, Jessica. I'm not being very helpful right now. That was interesting. What did it do on your end? Like in the chat, I can see it. It looks like highlighted, but it doesn't show up in the like the video, like with the chat on the screen. It's highlighted with purple on the chat. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the highlight of my day. Oh my God. Okay, so 1827, in a major scientific breakthrough, scientists discovered the existence of the female egg in the ovum. Prior to this, it was only known that semen must enter the female body for conception to occur. This is the first step in understanding the science of human production. So this is what I mean when you were saying, like, how did the ancient people figure this out? All they knew is, like, if you nut in someone, they might get pregnant. That's all that they really knew. And then in 1827, they were like, oh, the eggs. That's what's in there too. So they're like starting to figure their shit out. And then in 1832, Charles Knowlton invents a birth control solution to be injected into the uterus after intercourse. Various recipes included salt, vinegar. Someone who mentioned the vinegar sponges, this is what I was talking about. Salt, vinegar, liquid chloride, zinc sulfite, or aluminum potassium sulfite. Why can't I say potassium? Charles and Knowlton, more like Charles and Nutton. That's probably a bit cheaper than Plan B. I don't know. How much are syringes? This syringe method will remain in popular use for 40 years. Imagine you're like, the dude gets off you. You're laying there, like, you're down, and you're like, oh my God, and he gets off of you. And then he gets up and turns around, and it's just holding a syringe. Actually, this is a better representation. He's just holding a syringe, and he's like, babe, come here. Come here. Ugh. That seems awful. Women deserve so much better. Come here, Harriet. I need to inject your uterus right now. Just wanted to throw in the pacing today has been absolutely wonderful. Keep up the good work, y'all. Yeah, we really have been on fire today. The chat has been going. This is making me more happy I'm a lesbian. I'm happy for you, Jessica. So this is a good meme. Women in the mid-1800s, when the only birth control option available was a chemical shot to the coochie. Look at Kim Kardashian. She would never be able to survive this time. She'd be freaking out. Imagine him having to hold up a kerosene lamp, too. Literally, your boyfriend, Jedediah, comes up to you and is like, hey, hold this lamp still. Hold it still. Y'all start fighting. He fucking stabs you. You have no rights. You can't vote. God, those were dark days. God damn it, Jedediah. You're like in rural Arkansas. This was terrible. He drops the lamp on your koozie. The fucking wax from the candle falls on you. Dark days, literally and figuratively. What a time to be alive. Don't let the anti-vaxxer essential warrior mommies know about this method. They'll start using it again. They're gonna be like, so I went down to the local pool and found some chlorine and just injected it up right up there, completely natural. Benjamin Franklin vibes. It's terrible time to be a woman. Terrible. Okay, so slight improvements, I guess. In 1938, a doctor invented something called the wild cap, which is basically a precursor to the diaphragm, which is like you put it up inside you and it like blocks the sperm. It's like not that effective, but for 1838, pretty fucking good. Actually, never mind. Tell them natural selection will prevail. Did they think you could get impregnated while already pregnant? Were pregnant people getting syringes? Interesting. Probably not. I think they would have known that that wasn't a thing. You know, I'm sure it happened, sponsored by Jedediah, but my guess would be it probably happened, but was not widespread, would be if I had to guess. Okay, so then we have this like old version of the diaphragm, and then Charles Goodyear, I wonder if that's like Goodyear of Goodyear tires, I would imagine, because it's a rubber, invents technology to vulcanize rubber. Vulcanize rubber is like a process to make it stretchy. I don't fucking know. I'm not a chemist. This is not Breaking Bad. And then put it into manufacturing condoms, intrauterine devices, douching syringes, and womb veils. So once our rubber technology got better, that's when we started to get better birth control options, because a lot of them were made out of rubber. So we needed to have good rubber. At what point did men in religion start getting annoyed with all this? We're getting there. Don't worry. It's coming soon. It is on our horizon. They knew monthly courses stopped when a baby was coming, and they could stop doing the deed for a while. Oh, got it. Wait, we got IUDs in 1839. Okay, so let me rephrase this. Intrauterine devices quite literally just means something that goes inside your uterus. So this was like a rubber thing. This was technically an IUD, but not what me and you think of as an IUD, if that makes sense. We're going to talk about later. IUDs came out in the 50s. Then they were like, these fucking suck, took them out. And then they came back out in the 80s. And then those are the IUDs that we have today. So yeah, it is an IUD, but not like what we think of today. This is the douching syringe. This is a picture of it. This is an 1800s douching syringe that was found under a New York City hall. I don't like that. I am not a fan. Like that tiki smash, oh, that's rough. Yeah, like I'm just not into this at all. Immediately, no. Yeah, just immediately, like, Jedediah pulls this out, and I'm like, immediately, no. Like, immediately, no. This is not an option. Instant tetanus. IUDs are horrible today. I've had 2 and 1 rejected. I'm terrified of them. I'm not getting them. I don't care. As many people can recommend them in the world, literally no. Pearls clutch. To try again, Jedediah. Did you talk about how the OG condoms were made out of animal stomach linings? No, I did not. That detail was not included, but that is true. They made them out of like intestines and stuff like that before they had rubber. They didn't work very well. Jedediah, moving on to your brother now. I would be celibate, absolutely not. No, for real. I'd be like, you know what? It's not worth it. And like, let's be honest. How good could Jedediah be laying it down? Think about the times. Like, think about the times and think about sex ed at the time. Like, there's no way it was worth it. I know women like didn't really have a choice, but if they did, not worth it. Josiah, here I come. Jedediah drives a big horse and buggy, overcompensating. My God, latex free, baby, latex free. Okay, and then this is one that says scientists learn conception occurs in human reproduction when sperm enters the egg. Prior to this, it was assumed that men created life and women provided the home for it. I think this is when the scientists learn it, because haven't indigenous people been tracking their cycle with the moon for fucking ever? Like, didn't the Aztecs do that and the Native Americans do that, and like all these indigenous people throughout the world have been on top of that? Like, so I feel like 1843 is just when the scientists were connecting the dots. Like, I feel like this had been known. Like, to me, it's just not logical that they thought that the woman was like just the home for it. Like, that, I feel like the first calendar was like, I feel like they had to have known that, like, you know, because otherwise you could just like put some sperm in like a warm water bottle and it would work. The modern world is late to the party per usual. Rich white people connected the dots. That's what I'm kind of gathering here. And then in the 1870s, a wide assortment of birth controls were available in the United States, such as condoms, sponges, like someone mentioned, and people would put various things in the sponges, douching syringes, diaphragms, cervical caps, and you could get them in catalogs from pharmacists, dry goods stores, or rubber vendors. So at this point, our government's not regulating this. Do you remember when we did SpongeBob SquareVagine? Do you remember when we did our stream about the history of marijuana and I talked about how the government did not give a fuck about anything in the 1800s? Like, they didn't have laws. Like, they had a few things, but they didn't legislate Americans' behavior and like what we were allowed to do and not allowed to do. So that's why all these companies are able to sell these things and it's like totally Gucci and no one gives a shit because our government didn't really have any power then. Well, they did, but they didn't really use it like for stuff like that. It's like when scientists discovered women could orgasm. Exactly. That's the energy I'm getting here. Thank you. Brazilian friend was telling me her UK English word was rubber because of the double meaning. That's funny. They props thought it was only the man's because babies usually look a lot like the dad when they're born. Interesting. Wonka Industries, teaching us something new every day. Okay. Me reading, prior to this, it was assumed that men created life and women just provided a home for it. Jedediah tried to buy the extra large condom and his wife laughed at him in the general store. They're at the Amish store and she's like, Jedediah, put that down. Put that down right now. You look crazy as hell. You look crazy as hell. Do you know how crazy you look? Those extra large condoms, Jedediah? We see your shoes. You're a size 8 max. No one cracks me up like I do. Truly. Do you guys like this meme? It's a good meme. How are we connecting the dots? Something doesn't make sense. My phone has suggestion based on habits, and I just got a Siri suggestion to join your stream. Oh my God, that's so cute. Mine, it doesn't do it anymore, but it used to be when I was teaching every day at 3, mine would be like Roku TV, because I would get home and watch TV because I was so violently depressed. That's all I could do. Oh, good meme. I think the best is yet to come. There has to be a better one for the class photo. You got me, Lena. You got me. So this is another great iconic meme about the time period. If men could, or not about the time period, about the topic, I mean. NASA has to change the names for their dick sleeve because men kept choosing large and it kept falling off. I have heard about that. Men are so embarrassing. I love this show. Do you guys watch the show that this meme is from? Or not this meme, but this GIF is from? Love this show. If men could get pregnant, you could get an abortion at an ATM. So this is what I mean. When earlier I was talking about how like we can be inclusive and use gender neutral language, but we also can acknowledge how much gender has impacted this matter. This is exactly what I mean because like this sentence encapsulates why gender is a part of this discussion, which doesn't mean we can't be inclusive. My spiel is over. Abortions at the ATM, talk about a withdrawal. Holly Pocket, you're fucking crushing it tonight. Let's all have a round of applause for Holly Pocket with the one-liners are killing. I love it. You're crushing it. I'm obsessed. This is a very iconic meme. It went from small, medium, large to large, enormous, gigantic or something. That's, Jesus Christ, slow clap. Oh my God, look at my nails. I got new nails. They've been like falling off a lot though. I think I did a bad job putting them on, or maybe the new glue I have is not the vibe. I don't know. But look at my nails. Keep up the good work, Holly Pocket. We're celebrating you. This is your moment. This is your class shout out. This is the energy when the teacher is like, come to the front of the room. Holly is being a model student. Holly is doing a great job. Let's all look at Holly and do as great as she is. That's what we just did. You're welcome. There it is. 1873, Congress passes the Comstock Law. This is when they started to care. This is when stuff starts to get legislated. So Congress passes an Anti-Obscenity Act that specifically lists contraceptives as obscene material and outlaws the dissemination of them via the Postal Service or interstate commerce. So I thought that said the cock stop law. Might as well. Oh my God, the thumbs down emote. I need to make that better. It's like not punchy enough. It's not emote enough, you know? I need to deal with that. I need to get my shit together and deal with it. The cock block law, literally. So it doesn't ban birth control, but it does make it hard to get it because now they can't do it through the Postal Service. So the law authorizes the Postal Service. I can't stop burping. Probably because the alcohol. Authorizes the Postal Service to confiscate birth control sold through the mail, and its chief proponent's name was Anthony Comstock. It's named after him. Becomes a special agent for the Postal Service to enforce the law, and then many states passed similar laws the following year. And at this time, the United States was the only Western nation enacting laws criminalizing birth control. Are you going to talk about Margaret Sanger? Of course we are going to talk about Margaret Sanger, the good, the bad, the ugly, the nasty. We're going to talk about everything. Well, not everything, but a lot. So here's the first time we start to see legislation is in 1873. I think that might be a question in the game. I can't remember because I was writing it and then I remembered that you guys don't like the years, but I couldn't remember if I kept it or not. Hey Harriet, need birth control. I can get you some for the cheap. Here's a Snopes article about it. It was apparently anecdotal, but still good to know. What's the Snopes article say? Mixture. Okay. Go away. Oh, and we're going to talk about the Puerto Rico birth control as well. Wait, I'm confused. Sorry, I need to catch up with the chat. Okay, let's move on. Imagine looking like this and being worried about other people's sex lives. Imagine that. This is Comstock. This is, what's his name? Anthony Comstock. This is a pic of him. Why does he have a reverse goatee? Like, this is embarrassing. This might be the one. This might be the class photo. He looks like I would expect him to. Oh my God. That wasn't going to be the class photo, but I needed to take it because of Quarter Life Crisis's comment. He looks like he doesn't know where the clit is, so I just needed to capture that. Why did I think that was Ulysses S. Grant? Ulysses S. Grant immediately after the Civil War. He's like, you know what? You know what we need to do? You know what's next on my agenda? As Ulysses S. Grant. When he smells the cheese, his mustache twists up. Talk about birth control. Yeah, for real. Criminalizing birth control is strong incel energy. I don't think he needs to worry. Yeah, it's like, bro, don't worry about things that don't concern you. He scratches his wife's labia, asked if she liked it. Oh my God. This is going to get taken down. We all need to relax. Everyone censor yourselves in the chat. So if this video doesn't get taken down for profanity or whatever. Actually, I think Twitch is a lot more chill than most other apps. Like, TikTok would take this down immediately. Are we surprised that he's ugly? If you want to vote in this poll, here's the Nearpod. Are we surprised? Normally, I'm not in favor of shaming people for their appearance. However, he deserves it. So we wouldn't survive on TikTok Live. No, we're done with TikTok. Like, we're done. We don't know her. We're good. One of my videos got taken down. We're good. My account didn't get banned, though. That's making me feel better that another video got taken down, but the account didn't get banned, and I didn't get banned from posting, because it makes me feel like, I don't know, these are empty threats. Doesn't Twitch have the alt opposite left on here? They can handle us making jokes about men that are ugly. I was more worried about the very graphic descriptions. Like, you putting an asterisk in clit was perfect. Like, that's what I think we need to be doing. I was more thinking about, like, anatomy terms. They might be like, what the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean? Yeah, so far no one is surprised that he's ugly. You guys, I'm doing my hair the Founding Father way. So I just tied it in, like, a knot. Look, I'm literally a founding father. I feel like George Washington. Hello. It really only censors what you set your moderation setting to. Martha Washington. No, literally, that's my look. That's my vibes. So in 1875, scientists conclude definitively that for human fertilization, there must be a union of the egg and the sperm. So what gets me is, Why the fuck were we legislating birth control in 1873 when we didn't find out how this worked until 1875? So this is my meme about that. Legislating birth control before you even have an understanding of reproduction. George Washington hair can only be made at the pool. I'm excited. I'm going to the pool this weekend because I have a 4-day weekend. Arkin Morgana, thank you for subscribing with Prime. For those of you that have Prime and you want to subscribe, I think you get some freebies. I don't know how much it is, though. It's a tradition. It's a tradition. It's the American tradition. So, and then in 1907, hi, Queen. Happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. First time chat and you just subscribed. That's like 10/10. Thank you. Timothy Comstock, subscribe with Prime. It's free with Prime, I think. Yeah, but you only get a certain amount. I think it's like 3 people or 4 people or something like that. I'm sure they thought they understood. They were just wrong. Are you going to play mermaids at the pool? Yeah, by myself, I am. Maybe I can convince my boyfriend to not work that day. That's my goal for tonight. Okay, so trigger warning, the U.S. being terrible and violent to women, mostly women of color. In 1907, the United States institutes public policies that give the government the right to sterilize unwilling and unwitted people. Sterilize means like you can't have children after that. So like a hysterectomy would be like sterilization, but that's not the only way to do it. The Prime sub doesn't automatically renew. Oh, got it. Make your boyfriend play mermaids with you. I don't think he's going to do that. I think if I was playing mermaids, he would be really supportive of it and happy for me, but I don't think he's going to do it. Did you know that Helen Keller fell into support of this movement for a period of time and then retracted her statements and apologized? We stand someone changing their mind and holding themselves accountable. Like, whenever, honestly, so like if someone does something terrible and then later they apologize for it, it kind of makes me respect them. Like anyone that's dramatically changed their political views, I really respect. Like some people I went to high school with that I used to argue with them about politics in high school and they were very right wing, that are now more like moderate or down or like a little bit left, not leftist, but like a little further left, or like they reached out to me and been like, yeah, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those things. Like I've learned more about the world. And like, that takes a lot. Like haven't, like my views have definitely changed and evolved, but like I didn't have like a 180, you know, it's been like specific things I've changed my mind on, but that would be a lot to have like a 180. So I really respect anyone that has left a religion or changed political parties in their life, because I'm like, you thought for yourself and were like, you know, all of that. Like that's growth. Like even if they're not perfect, even if they made mistakes, I think that shows more character than someone who's like been the same way the whole time. You know what I mean? Eugenics, the fruit of the marriage between racism and classes. I swear I saw Helen Keller was a communist and it threw me for a loop. No, she was, right? She was like, I think. I went to Catholic school for 15 years and I feel that. Yeah. I left a cult. It's Nesser 98. What cult? If you feel comfortable sharing, you don't have to tell us, but I'm curious. I am so glad I didn't get recruited into a cult. I think I would have been pretty susceptible. I really like a big group dynamic with a strong, charismatic leader. Yeah, congratulations, Nesser. That's impressive to leave a cult. If you want to share, go for it. Started 2020 as a conservative, did not stay that way long. Mr. President, I feel that. Okay, so the United States started to have policies that allowed them to sterilize unwilling people. Indiana enacts the nation's first compulsory sterilization law in 1907. By 1929, 30 states have similar laws. These laws list the insane, feeble-minded, and the dependent and the diseased as incapable of regulating their own reproductive abilities, therefore justifying government-forced sterilization. State officials use these laws disproportionately to target Black women and Native American women and poor women and girls. So this is like, you can start to see, even though it's not technically legislating birth control, this is still like a lack of body autonomy for women. And it's kind of like getting really intense and really aggressive. Someone at my university tried to recruit me into a cult. Speaking of cults, there's drama on the Mormon Mom TikTok because they're all swingers right now. I'm sorry. We need to go back like 5 steps because 1, Mormon Mom TikTok. 2, Are they considered a cult? I would imagine so. 3 swingers. I almost became Mormon because my friends were. I deadass almost just willingly entered a cult. We've all almost willingly entered a cult. The Reddit mom talk gossip has the tea. Let me write that down. Just gonna real quick. That is a pencil with no head on it. What was that Reddit? Mom talk gossip? Yep, that's gonna file that away for later. Mom talk gossip. One of them is getting divorced because she broke the swingers contract and went all the way with another man. So then you gotta abide by the contract or else it doesn't work. Does not work. Doesn't work if you don't live by the contract. Are you the way I heard of the podcast Normal Gossip? Maybe. I've talked about it before on here, but it was popular before I talked about it. Did they come out with more episodes? Because I'm going to need them to fucking get on that. Actually, lately at work, like, you guys should be really proud of me. I've been doing work at work. Like, the first couple months I was there, I didn't really do that much. And I was just, like, listening to podcasts all day. But I haven't been able to listen to podcasts in 2 weeks because I've been so busy. Like, that's a lot for me. That's a big change. So now all the Mormon moms have been going on live. I'm not a swinger, giving statements, including the lady who danced with her baby in the hospital. I remember that, where she was like, my baby's having issues in the hospital. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Okay, Normal Gossip. Do they have more episodes? Oh, no, they do. They came out with some. They have some in the month of May. It seems like, yeah. They have some. Yeah, they have a lot more. Yes. Okay, there's new Normal Gossip episodes. Yay, I'm going to start listening to those on my way home from work. Real Housewives of Salt Lake made me obsessed with Mormon mom TikToks. I need to get back into Real Housewives of Salt Lake. I need to get back into it. I'm so behind on my reality TV. I'm going to do that this long weekend as well. Okay, so use one word to describe the history of birth control so far. So just to give you a fresher of where we're at like terrible lack of birth control, shoving things up your coochie, the injections, all of that. And then we got to now we have like some condoms, some things that are surprisingly better, but birth control is banned out of male, and now they're doing the sterilization thing. So use one word to describe everything we've learned so far. I would use the word messy. It's messy. It's a mess. Messy, messy, messy. Painful, fucked, yeah, messy. Real talk, though, these eugenicist policies are still kind of pushed in regards to disabled people currently as is. Yeah, definitely. I don't have a ton of, like, knowledge or personal experience with that, so I'm not going to speak a ton on that, but I know that that is a big issue in terms of especially people that are disabled having the right to birth control, having the right to not have birth control, like all of that. Yeah. Traumatic, scary, men shoving things where they don't belong, literally and metaphorically, needing a tetanus shot, chaotic, ick. This is giving me the ick, you guys. I have the ick. Okay, so, sorry if I cut you off. More scientific progress. We went like forwards and backwards a little bit. Now we're going to go back to learning about more stuff. Actually, this one's boring, kind of. I think we can skip this slide. You can see it's basically just like some scientific gains in regards to birth control. Okay, so early days of the birth control that we know today. Now we're going to talk about like the creation of the birth control that we know today. We're mainly going to be talking about the pill, pretending this is a college course I enrolled in. It literally is. It's literally a college class, and you're going to get credit for it. We're mainly going to be talking about the pill. That's the birth control that's been around, that we're familiar with, that's been around the longest. So Catherine McCormick, she is the first woman to graduate from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology with a degree in science. And then Mary Staniel McCormick, the heir to the International Harvester Company fortune. You are going to need to know who she is later, but then her husband gets diagnosed with schizophrenia. Fearing his disease is hereditary, she vows to never have children and develops a staunch belief in the value of contraception. So the only reason I'm telling you about her is because later when he died, she got all that money and she helped create like the funding for the creation of the pill. And she was like an old money lady. Like her family was old money. Her husband was old money. Oh, the chat is broken. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate you. Add a layer. Chat. There we go. So yeah, this, come here. There we go. We're all good. Yay. So Catherine McCormick, old money, rich. She ended up funding a lot of the pill. That's who she is. So then Margaret Sanger, she is like the known person. She started Planned Parenthood that some people have mentioned in the chat. Let me make sure I fix the chat. There we go. Okay, good. It's fixed. It always scares me whenever I edit it. It goes to 0 viewers and then like nothing comes up, and it like really freaks me out and like susses me out, and I'm not a fan of it. And it's like taking longer than usual to fix itself. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, you're back. Okay, so Margaret Sanger, she was born in 1912. She was the 6th child of a poor working-class Irish Catholic family, and then she became a nurse. So she had like very traumatic childhood. I think her mom like had issues. Did her mom die in childbirth? I feel like that's true. I heard that somewhere. Her mom had some issues, all that stuff. Planned Parenthood has denounced Sanger in recent years, BTW. Yes, we are going to talk about that as well. So she's the one who started it. This is kind of her upbringing. She had dreams about finding a magic pill as easy to take as an aspirin that could be used for contraception. She was mad racist and did some not okay things. We will talk about that, but that's not what we're going to talk about at this exact second. So it's in a couple slides, don't worry. It's not like a next stream. I wouldn't talk about this without talking about that. So in 1914, in her radical journal, The Woman Rebel, Sanger instructs women on times when it would be wise for women to avoid pregnancy, such as the case of illness or poverty. She does not give any instructions regarding specific methods, but the New York City postmaster bans the journal under the Comstock Law. So, Comstock Law, it's coming back again. Then in August, she coins the term birth control and dares to use the phrase in the June 1914 issue. For this crime and others, Sanger is indicted for 9 violations of the Comstock Law. Rather than face charges, she flees the country to continue her work in England. Anthony Comstock died a year later, but anti-birth control laws were still going because he was a hater and lots of other people were haters. So very much still happening. And then in March of 1915, a New York City group of women formed the National Birth Control League, which was basically like the precursor to the Planned Parenthood Federation. Dang, Comstock, yeah, he's dead. R.I.P., but not in peace. So, believing that enforced motherhood is the most complete denial of a woman's right to life and liberty, public health nurse Margaret Sanger coins the term birth control and begins her decades-long campaign. We already said that, sorry. This is how you can tell I was rushing making this. Then, 1916, she returns to New York to face trial. The charges are dropped, but she continues to challenge Comstock laws and brazenly launches a new publication to her cause, the Birth Control Review. Then in 1916, this part is in the game. This is in the game. The first birth control clinic in Brownsville, Brooklyn. This is in Brooklyn. In the game, it's going to ask you where this was, and it is in Brooklyn. This is me telling you right now. By dispensing contraceptive devices and sentence her to jail. The next year, a New York court convicts her of maintaining a public nuisance and sentences her to jail for 30 days. When she gets out, she reopens the clinic. So she basically gets out and is like, I really don't give a fuck what you have to say. I'm reopening the birth control clinic. Margaret Sanger passing out condoms. My God, Holly Pocket, you're crushing it every time, I swear. It's true. All right, so the court rules that birth control is a vibe. In 1918, the case People versus Sanger, a New York State court appeals the reverse of her criminal conviction, ruling that New York's limitations on the distribution of birth control are unconstitutional because they infringe on a woman's liberty by forcing them to conceive more children than they want. All I'm trying to get is this energy. I want the New York court's energy of 1918 in our federal government right now. That's all I want. That's all I want. Can we bring back this court asking for an American? No, literally. Thinking about in college when they brought a 10-pound bag of condoms to give out in class. Oh my God. So there was this lady, I can't remember her name, but she was basically like the sexual health coordinator at FSU, and she had this costume that she called the condom fairy, and it was like fairy wings that had condoms like taped to it. Kelly Grove. Quarter life crisis, you get it. Kelly Grove. She would like walk around and have like her basket and give people condoms, because she had a wand that had like, it was in the wrapper, but a condom on it. She was so funny. Ugh. She was also, I remember her telling me that like in like a session, she came to speak at some of my classes, and I was in like National Organization of Women. She was the first openly intersex person I met. Me too. FSU probably needs it. Yeah, she was up for the job. Like, that's a tough job, and she was up for the job. She was awesome. What was I about to say? Oh fuck, I forgot. Damn it. FSU does need it. Oh, I remember. So she was speaking at this event that I was at, and she told us how she was the only FSU employee that's legally allowed to have, or like technically allowed to have porn on her work computer, and she had to fight for it. She said when she first got hired, she was like, I need to be able to have porn on my computer, and they were like, there's no reason you would need that, and she fought for it because she said, students need to be able to show me porn and ask if it's normal and ask questions and have an open dialogue about it. So I need to be able to have porn on my computer and it to not be an issue so that I can do my job. And they agreed with her and did it, which is surprising to me. We had surprisingly good sex ed at my school in rural Georgia, but giving out condoms was a bridge too far for them. Yeah, a lot of times they're bound by legislation on that. What a legend. No, she is a legend. Oh, she doesn't work there anymore? Where does she work now? I'm going to Google her. Where does she work now? Good for her for like getting a job and being on to better things. I remember one time she drove past me on campus on a golf cart, and like she was driving, and then next to her was a giant plastic bin of dildos, and she just drove right on past me. She left in like 2018. Yeah, that's when I graduated, so it makes sense. Kelly Grove. I don't know how to Google her. That's like a pretty common name. And then she went viral on the internet and then left. Me too. Yeah, I can't find it. There's like articles about her and stuff though. Good for her. Aw, we stan. An attorney I worked for had to get permission to have a porn blog account for an investigation on a case. Shit was wild. Damn, Apples. Welcome, Apples. Is that the first we've heard from you today? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so the court rules that birth control is a vibe, and this is the first legal ruling to allow birth control to be used for therapeutic purposes. And then in 1918, the African-American women of the Women's Political Association of Harlem hold their first public lecture on birth control. We're going to talk about race and birth control and Margaret Sanger. That's why that part's in there. Then, 1920, this is where Margaret Sanger starts to say some stuff that we don't really fuck with, and this is why Planned Parenthood no longer claims her, is what we're getting into right now. It is, I was driving earlier. Oh, but I've been here the whole time. Oh my God, hi. That's what I was like. Oh my God, I'm sure they're here, but they've been so quiet. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're being safe while driving. We always stand being safe while driving. I'm terrible at that. I'm really trying to get better. I'm really bad about using my phone while driving. I spend a lot of time in my car every day. It's in back-to-back traffic, so I get very bored and I end up going on my phone, which is not an excuse. It's an explanation. That's another powerful phrase. It's not an excuse. It's just an explanation, because I hate when you're trying to like give your spiel and people are like, I don't want to hear excuses. And like, I'm not excusing it. I'm just trying to explain to you like my thing. Oh, she is a health equity strategic consultant for the state of Florida Department of Health. Good for her. Aw, damn it. The chat is broken again. Mercury retrograde. It's hard for me to say that word. Mercury. The more I say it, it doesn't sound like a word anymore, and I'm getting kind of stressed out over it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I found Kelly Grove on LinkedIn. Y'all crushing it every time. Yeah, this chat does be breaking like a cheap condom. This chat be breaking like a cheap condom. Okay, so Margaret Sanger publicly states, this is not a vibe. We do not stand her for saying this because it's not cool. She said, birth control is nothing more or less than the facilitation of the process of weeding out the unfit and preventing the birth of the defectives. Very much giving eugenics. Very much. So, 1921, she establishes the American Birth Control League, which became Planned Parenthood. Cringe. Very much cringe. Very much not a vibe. I just got really hungry. I'm going to get McDonald's for dinner. You need to be able to improve the chat with more subs or something. Yeah, I need to pick a different streaming software. I just haven't had time to like research one and download it and try it out. Maybe I'll do that. Oh, okay. So I'm not going to work on Monday or Tuesday. I have Monday and Tuesday off for Labor Day or for Memorial Day. I always mix those two up. They're like both like summer American holidays, and I just mix them up. But anyway, maybe I'll do a stream like Monday morning using the new software that I'm going to download and see how it works, just so I can have one where I like kind of have time to figure it out and we can just like chat and hang out. Maybe I'll do that on Monday. The burp. Okay, let's focus. Then 1923, she successfully opens the first legal birth control clinic in the U.S. with the intent of only using contraceptives for medical purposes, such as the prevention of life-threatening pregnancy. And then in 1927, the Supreme Court rules in Buck versus Bell that coercive sterilization does not violate the U.S. Constitution. There it is, y'all. The Supreme Court. The American Supreme Court, back at it again. Coercive sterilization does not violate the U.S. Constitution. Just how that Supreme Court thing got leaked where it was like, an abortion is not guaranteed in the Constitution. Yeah, no shit. Because no shit, honey. Fun fact, Carrie Buck was not even actually mentally disabled. She was just abused as a child. Oh, God. The Supreme Court is so fun. Such a great institution. We def love. So cool. Yeah, that's the other U.S. flag one is more better. I don't know who just found that one again. But, yeah, I like the other one better. I miss the old one. Okay. And then Margaret Sanger orchestrates a court battle over the shipment of Japanese diaphragms to a doctor in the U.S. This is called, oh my God, why is this one cool? Oh, you're watching without video? How is that possible? Sorry, Davinscape was first time chat, and it says you're watching without video, which is just kind of interesting to me. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, it's like about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I don't know anything about that. I don't really want to speak on it. So she orchestrates this Supreme Court battle. It was U.S. versus one package. The court ruled that physicians can receive contraceptive devices and information via the mail unless it is prohibited by a specific local law. So they're kind of like, you can, but we're not going to protect it too much. It's a major victory for Sanger and birth control advocates. This case legitimizes birth control commerce along with the medical professionals that leads to the American Medical Association officially recognizing birth control as a part of a doctor's medical practice. So 1936 is where we start to see birth control being like a real thing to doctors in the United States. I also don't think it's a coincidence that this is during the middle of the Great Depression. This is when the Great Depression was kind of like really, 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 really fucking bad. And so it makes sense that a lot more women would be like wanting to control their ability to have children because during the Great Depression, it's extremely difficult to provide for children and children were like really down bad. So like if I was a mother in the Great Depression and I had never really thought about birth control before, but then I was like with my kids suffering homeless in Oklahoma because of the Dust Bowl, I'd be like, we need to work something out because my only free activity is going to lead to another kid. It's like your only free entertainment is just going to create more bills. You know what I mean? It's like really not a vibe. This is about Margaret Sanger's racism. This is from a USA Today article. So for those identifying historical figures with racist roots who should be removed from public view because of their histories, Planned Parenthood founders Margaret Sanger must be on that join list. In promoting birth control, she advanced a controversial Negro project, which we're going to talk about in a second, wrote in her autobiography about speaking to the KKK, and advocated for eugenics approach to breeding for the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stock, those human weeds that threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. So definitely not a vibe that she said that, really not chill. In a 1939 letter to Dr. D.C. Gamble of Procter & Gamble. Yeah, Buck versus Bell is crazy. We didn't really have time to get into the details of it, but I highly recommend everyone look into it. Sanger urged him to get over his reluctance to hire a full-time, I don't want to say that word, physician as they could get closer with their own members and more or less lay their cards on the table, which means their ignorance, superstitions, and doubt. So basically, she was trying to get the Procter & Gamble people that were like paying for all this stuff to hire a black doctor because she thought that like the black patients would listen to them more, I guess. And she urged Dr. Campbell to enlist the help of spiritual leaders to justify their work, writing, "We do not want word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." Oh, I just said it on accident because I was reading. Sorry, I hate that. And the minister is the man who can straighten out the idea if it ever occurs to any more of their rebellious members. So definitely not a vibe at all that she said any of this. So this is why Planned Parenthood does not claim her anymore, because she was super not chill with a lot of things. Me reading about Margaret Sanger's legacy, because sometimes you'll read something and you're like, oh, that's cool that she opened that clinic, and then you read that and you're like, well, that's fucked up. That's disgusting. Thank you for the education. I knew, but I wish I didn't. You know, that's how I feel about everything. That's how I feel about most of the information in my brain. Truly. Why isn't this loading? Okay, thoughts on Margaret Sanger. If you want to join the Nearpod, here it is. But I'm eager to hear your thoughts if you have any. It's just very much like, this is how I feel. That's fucked up, super evil, not okay that she said that. And like, it's also very typical of the time period. You know what I mean? Like that checks out historically. Like that makes sense as a very racist, eugenics, misogynistic, all the thing time. So like, it makes sense. Like I'm disappointed, but not surprised is how I feel about the situation. Like I would be surprised if this wasn't true. So I think it's like, yay, great job getting these things done. But like, don't be racist, please. That's not cool. Please don't do that. Boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, thanks for your help in getting, like, contraception from Japan shipped to us. Like, that's pretty dope that you got that done. But, like, the rest of it, not that dope and, like, not chill. So we're not friends. But, like, I appreciate the work on the things that are good, I guess. Karen. Oh, I'd say Peggy was a horrible person. Bad person, good outcome, wrong motivation, but got what we needed. For clarification, I'm not a fan. Yeah, it's like dope that we got birth control, but like kind of wish you just did it for like better reasonings than the ones that you had. So then 1939, there's nearly 400 community-based state-sponsored birth control clinics throughout the country. I wonder what it is today. And then several national groups advocating for birth control joined together. And then in 1942, they become the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. And then the National Council of African American, outdated term, women, becomes the first national women's organization to officially endorse the practice of contraception. And this is in 1941. Also interesting to me that is when World War II was like becoming, you know, like that's when World War II was happening, or like the inklings of it. I don't know if it had started then at that point. I think it did. So interesting. It's like, we kind of got a lot going on right now. Maybe we should not have babies right now. We kind of got a lot going on. And then the baby boom happened right after World War II. So also interesting point. They said no babies during wartime. They said your husband is going to get drafted, so don't fuck around and get pregnant because you're going to be by yourself and you're going to be miserable, and we don't have time for that. Side note, one of the teachers on my team is teaching sex ed, and one of the kids raised their hand and said, what happens if you drink semen? I could not teach sex ed. The chat has done the iconic thing again. Of course it has. It's getting really bad. This is getting out of hand. Someone hold me accountable. On Monday, someone like yell at me and be like, bitch, get a new streaming software. Get a new one. You need it. I just hate trying and learning new things because I'm not good at them immediately, and it's hard for me. You know what I mean? Where was I? Then in 1950, Margaret Sanger is in her 80s at this point. She organizes support for research to create a first birth control pill. And then this is where this Catherine Galley comes back in. Billionaire, long story, remember? In October, at the age of 75, Catherine McCormick turns her full attention to the problem of birth control. She writes Margaret Sanger a letter inquiring about current research and ask where her money might be best spent funding to improve birth control. I'm a sex educator. I love it, actually. I'm so glad because we need people that are good at it and love it, and I'm not one of them. I actually think I could be really good at it. I think it would like be really awkward at first, but I think I could do a good job and I would end up liking it, but that seems like rough to get used to, the questions. Now it's so dark. The sun do be setting. That's one thing. Oh my God, we're only on 32. We're like only halfway done. Let me focus. Okay. So throughout the 1950s, Americans spend an estimated of $200 million a year on contraception. So you can see, you as a sex educator would be like your principal TikToks note, literally. So you can see contraception is popular, all of that. Although the vast majority of doctors approve birth control for the good of families, anti-birth control laws on the books in 30 states prohibit or restrict the sale or advertisement of contraception devices. For example, in Massachusetts, it was a felony to exhibit, sell, prescribe, provide, or give out information about them. And in Connecticut, it was a crime for couples to use contraception. So it's very mixed right now. Some places are cool with it, some places aren't. The Catholic Church remained absolutely opposed to birth control, but this Pope said that the rhythm method was totally fine. So the rhythm method is basically tracking your cycle and then just like being careful. So I'm really proud of this. Look at the details. Look at the details of this picture. I had to get in Canva for this one. Look at the details. Do you see it? Do you see it? I'm assuming you see it. It's giving thumbnail. This is good. This is very good. Is this the class pick? I think so. This is what I had in mind. Good job. The rosary and the Pope. My CCD teacher taught us about the rhythm method. Okay, we're going to take our class picture. We might do another one if you all like different memes better, but everyone smile for your class picture. Look, I'm about to take a screenshot. You can see it right here. I feel like a genius that I got the class pic. Good, Jessica, you are a genius. Okay, everyone smile. Rhythm method, sponsored by Catholicism. We're going to do another one. Okay. Perfect. We live, we laugh, we love. All right. So then Planned Parenthood begins running 200 birth control clinics. Margaret Sanger had been successful in fighting legal restrictions, and birth control had been widely accepted. Sanger remained deeply unsatisfied because there were no better birth controls than they did when she first envisioned the pill. So, super off topic, but I just tagged you in a TikTok with some weird, messy drama that reminded me of the Mormon bombshell. Oh my God, we'll be looking into that. Thank you. Oh my God, Aloha Craw rated you with a party of 4 viewers. Welcome. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? How are we living? How are we loving? Welcome to the party. So, Margaret Sanger has a dinner party. She basically has this party and is like, what's up, bitches? I wanna, big fan of your TikTok. Thank you. Thank you, Aloha Craw. I love that for me. Welcome, welcome. Could the Monday stream be Mormon mom drama? Ooh, that's a good idea. I don't know if I have the time to get into that, but because I'm off work on Monday, I might. That's a very good idea. Interesting. Okay, so she has this dinner party and is like, hey, bitches, I want to make a birth control pill. That's Margaret Sanger's plan at this current moment of time. So then the biologists, John Rock and Gregory Pincus, team up to develop the birth control pill with the money from Catherine McCormick. Second, thirded, we want the Mormon mom drama. All right. So, state laws prohibiting contraception made it difficult to do trials. So they controversially first test the drug on female and male patients at a psychiatric hospital in Massachusetts and then on poor women in Puerto Rico. So we're going to learn more about the Puerto Rico thing next because it's terrible. So, violation of human rights in Puerto Rico. In the eyes of these two men, Puerto Rico was a perfect place to do this. At the time, in the midst of a population boom, poverty was very rampant. It was also home to new birth control clinics that had been funded by the U.S. government, and now Procter & Gamble was funding them and running them. So Procter & Gamble, a little bit sus here that they're funding and running these. Very interesting. This is a huge deal. My grandmother still doesn't trust medicine because of this. Yeah, I'm sure if I experienced anything like this or I had a friend that did, I'd be like, yeah, I don't fucking trust y'all. So, Gamble believed that Puerto Ricans and others living in poverty should be wiped out to make room for more fit members of society, and birth control was a part of that vision. As historian Nancy Overer notes, his birth control centers became recruitment grounds for the clinical trial. Gamble was also deeply involved in Puerto Rico's policy of encouraging women to undergo sterilization as a form of birth control. Approximately 1/3 third of the women in Puerto Rico were sterilized, many involuntarily under policies that pressured women to undergo hysterectomies after their second child's birth. So that is fucking crazy. She lives in Puerto Rico and wouldn't get her COVID vax because of this. This was in the 50s? Yes, this was in the 50s. These vibes are similar to syphilis experiment. Yeah, like, honestly, I can't even blame your grandmother for not wanting the COVID vaccine because, like, that's very much trauma. So, like, I would also probably be very hesitant to take anything from the government if I was her. She's, like, one of the few people that I'll allow to be an anti-vaxxer. Not an anti-vaxxer, but, like, a not getting the vaccine, you know? Maybe she is an anti-vaxxer. I don't know, your grandma. So, Rock selected a high use of Enovid, the company's brand name for their synthetic oral progesterone. This is like a birth control hormone, to ensure that no pregnancies would occur while test subjects were on the drug. Later, after discovering it worked better with small amounts of synthetic estrogen, that active ingredient was added to the pill as well. The pill was 100% effective when taken properly, and it was also informed that who is she? This is an assistant person, sorry. 17% of the women in the study complained of nausea, dizziness, and headaches, and it was so serious that Rice Ray, I think this was like an assistant, told Pincus, the like scientist bitch, that 10 milligram doses causes too many side reactions to be generally acceptable, but the scientists are like, that's actually not that big of a deal and we don't really care. Their patients in Boston had fewer negative reactions, and they believed the complaints were psychosomatic. So the men felt that the problems such as bloating and nausea were minor compared to the benefits. Although 3 women died, no investigation was conducted to see if the pill had caused the death, and they took no actions to assess the root cause of the side effects. So literally, like, from the jump, this was a terrible fucking study. Like, you didn't do anything about the side effects. 3 people died, and you didn't investigate if it had anything to do with the clinical study you were doing. I'm sorry. If I'm doing a clinical study and someone fucking dies, I'm going to want more information. I'm going to want to investigate that. I'm going to want to know why the fuck that happened, because that was not in the plan. That's a red flag. 3 people is not 0. 3 people is not 0. Me realizing I spent ages 15 to 21 depressed on birth control because 2 violently racist white dudes did a terrible job at work in the 1950s. Literally. It's like, okay. But men don't have birth control because of the mild side effects of headaches. Literally. Put your man on the pill. That's the vision. That's the vibes. Just violated human rights in Puerto Rico while also laying the groundwork for women to have all their symptoms ignored and get gaslit by doctors. Woohoo! Woohoo! We love. That's one of the scientists. I can't remember which one. But I thought this pic was like perfect for the caption. That's why I picked it. Brutal out here in these streets. Trigger warning men. Trigger warning men. Sorry, you guys. Trigger warning men. Did you all ever learn about this? That's all we're really going to talk about with the Puerto Rico. There's more to learn about that, but obviously we've already been here for like an hour and 40 minutes and we're like only halfway done. So we're not going to go more in depth. I wanted to go pretty in depth though. I wanted to go medium in depth. Did you learn about this in school at all? I didn't learn about it in school. I learned about it from the internet. Or is this news to you? Totally fine if it's news to you. Not your fault. They don't really like talk about this. Like, it's not common knowledge that this happened. So it's not like you missed something that was given to you at some point in time. I never learned about this anywhere. What the fuck? I learned about it from my family and the internet. First time chat, Kitty Cat 63. Welcome, Kitty Kate, not Cat, sorry. And also thank you, Elsby412 for following, Western Gothic for following, appreciate, Not Hannah followed, Michaela Hansen, Tynals 50, Mad Brox, Lisa Curfs, appreciate, Canadian and had no idea. Oh wait, who learned this in school? Evil Peach, you learned it in school? Good job on your school for teaching you this. That's impressive and very surprising to me. Just had to reconnect my screen mirroring and got a military ad. Ew. Ew, are they giving me a military ad? Oh, I bet it's because I do talk about stuff like that. Like, I bet they realize that I'm talking about, like, the U.S. and stuff, and they kind of miscategorized me in the targeted ads section. Wrong audience, sorry. Then in 1960, Envoid is approved by the FDA. So that lovely study where they ignored the people that died and literally didn't even acknowledge the side effects, the FDA was like, yeah, seems good. And then in 1965, the Supreme Court rules in Griswold versus Connecticut that married couples have a constitutional right to privacy, which includes the right to birth control, but unmarried women are still denied birth control. I can't remember where I learned this, but it might have been a women's studies class in college. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, got it. Where was I? Okay, so the U.S. Agency for International Development's Population and Reproductive Rights begins the goal of reducing birth rates in developing countries. And then in 1968, the FDA approves IUDs. So remember when I was saying like they had IUDs and they got different ones and then they took them away and now we got good ones? Yeah. So bringing early versions to the market with more than 10% of women using contraception and IUDs. I didn't know this until I started looking this up today to get ready for this stream, that IUDs had like a moment in the 60s. I'm so confused about what people mean the right to privacy. Is it like my body, my choice, the idea? I think what it is like the right to privacy of like, the government has referenced that before about like you being allowed to do things within your own home because it's like your home and it's your right to have privacy. Like, I think it's more like that's not our business because it's between you two in your home. So the government shouldn't regulate it because it's like a private matter is I think their logic there. I learned about some of this on Drunk History and then Tumblr. Tumblr's doing more than the American education system. Then medical journalist Barbara Seaman, that's an ironic last name, wrote a book called The Doctor's Case Against the Pill, which laid out testimony and research showing that the high doses of estrogen put women at risk of blood clots, heart attacks, strokes, and cancer. And then in 1970, at a congressional hearing, feminists challenged the safety of the pill. And then after that, hormones were lowered to a fraction of the original doses. So like the women in Puerto Rico got crazy high doses that were super dangerous. And then when it came to American markets, it was lower, but still way too high. And then in the 1970s, they literally had to go to Congress and were like, can you fucking do something about this, please? Like, imagine if we go to Congress for that. That should have been, like, you should have had to write like one letter. Like, as soon as they figured it out, it should have been done. But no, they had to go all the way and do a fucking congressional hearing over it. Ugh. Terrible. Brutal out here. Okay. Then, 1970, Congress passes Title X, which grants a federal grant to a program solely dedicated to providing low-income individuals with family planning services, including contraceptive and related preventative health. OMG, my mom remembers when they went to Congress. Oh my God, I should ask my mom about this. It's pretty much made up by the Supreme Court based on the Constitution, but it's the basis of a lot of very important rights. See what I mean? The Supreme Court's like a mess. It's like we have no idea what's going on there. Like, it's like the right to privacy, which isn't even real, is the basis of so much other stuff, but then also apparently now they can just reverse things. Didn't know that was possible. So many of our rights are based on the right to privacy, but not anymore, LMAO. I'm nervous. We're not going to talk about that a ton today. I'm not really going to go into like the leak and stuff. I thought about it, but I just like, it's too scary and depressing. And we already had 57 slides. So anyway, where was I? Tony Cade Bambara's essay, The Pill, Genocide or Liberation, calls attention to race and gender controversies surrounding the pill in communities of color. This part's terrible. Trigger warning for here. In the 1970s, the Indian Health Services, like the correct term is Native American. The reason I'm using the term Indian is because that was the name of this organization. So you know what I'm saying. That's not the term that I would use, but that's what they called this. Sterilized thousands of Native American women, contributing to a drop in Native women's average birth rate from 3.7 children. I think that's like per 100,000, per 100. So 3.7 to 1.8. By comparison, white women's was 2.4 and then 2.1. So it's not like there was a massive drop on a national scale. It was the forced sterilization. And then in 1972, the Supreme Court legalizes birth control for unmarried people. So when was it legalized for married people? Like 60 something? Yeah, 65 is when it became legalized for married couples. And now in 1972, it's legalized for everybody, the government. But did you die though? No, literally that's our whole government. You can't have a fetus if you die. All my homies love Title X. It's 100% scientist. It's 100% effective. You just might die, FYI. It's like you can't get pregnant if you're dead. So it is still technically 100% effective. It's kind of like Benadryl. Like you can't feel like you're coughing up a lung if you're knocked out. So I guess it technically does work. And then in 1973, the coercive sterilization of two African-American sisters, Minnie Lee and Mary Alice Ralph, aged 14 and 12, sparked a lawsuit and a national campaign to end sterilization abuse. And the Committee to End Sterilization Abuse was founded a year later to combat coercive sterilization for women of color. But that honestly still really is a problem. I've also found that out of especially women that are experiencing incarceration. A lot of women who experience incarceration, if they have a baby while they're incarcerated or have some kind of health issue while they're incarcerated, a lot of them are getting hysterectomies that they are not asking for, that they're being coerced into. So like if an inmate has a baby, they'll be like, oh, we're just going to give you a hysterectomy while we're in there. Or like if someone's going in for something else, like if they're going in for something pretty minor, they'll be like, oh, we can just give you a hysterectomy instead. And like, yeah, I guess that technically does solve it, but that's still a problem, definitely. And in psychiatric facilities, yeah, it's like a whole big mess. It's a whole topic for all other day. Gabby, thanks for the follow. All right, where was I? All right, in 1974, the FDA suspends the sale of an IUD after multiple users develop infections and 7 women die. Although other IUDs are not implicated in subsequent years, most IUDs are slowly taken off the market due to the escalating cost of lawsuits. So yeah, remember we talked about like they started out in the 60s? IUDs had like their moment for a hot minute here. I messed up the order here. So we were supposed to be here, and then now we're going to talk about Roe versus Wade, and then we'll go back. So Roe versus Wade was passed in actually, no, I didn't mess up the order, sorry. We're still talking about birth control. This is what happens when I don't rehearse because we didn't have time. Okay, anyway. We're focusing. Sorry, we're focused. So yeah, IUDs get taken off the market. I meant to take this out. I don't really care about a controversial music hit, but good for her, happy for her. And then 1978, the Supreme Court in Carey versus Population Services holds that the state cannot constitutionally place any restrictions on the advertisement, sale, or distribution of contraceptives to individuals at any age, which is cool. See what I mean? Sometimes the Supreme Court is a flop, and then sometimes they do good things. So then in 1979, the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare releases new regulations requiring informed consent for sterilization procedures, including a 30-day waiting period. So the weird thing is so the U.S. government could sterilize you without telling you until 1979? Yes, they could, unfortunately. The crazy thing to me about sterilization in U.S. history is that, there's so much history of forced sterilization that still happens today. Like, that law, just because the law exists doesn't mean it's getting followed, you know what I mean? That is, so prevalent. But then what's also prevalent is there's so many women today who want to have a hysterectomy, who want to have a permanent form of birth control, who are denied their right to that because it was 79 before they had informed consent. That's absolutely far too late. Oh my God. No, literally. That was 20 minutes ago practically. But if a woman, especially a younger woman who has not had children, wants to get a hysterectomy, it can be so difficult to find somebody. So many providers will refuse you and be like, oh, your future husband might want kids, and fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm not personally in that situation. To me, kids, it's maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see what the fucking cards hold. But if you don't want them, you should be able to cancel that. Okay, focus. Then in the 1980s, the FDA approves a new low-dose hormonal contraceptive pill and a new copper IUD, the Paragard. People become increasingly aware of emergency contraception, which entails taking multiple birth control pills within 72 hours of intercourse to prevent ovulation. I've never really used those. I'm very sensitive to hormones, so I don't do the pill thing anymore. I did for years. But yeah, this is one, like, this is not plan B, but this is like DIY plan B. Like, just taking a bunch of the birth control pills is DIY plan B. For those of you that didn't know that, that's essentially what plan B is. It is not super recommended to DIY it, I don't think, but I know a lot of people who do it. So moving on, this was kind of what's going on with birth control in the 70s, but a very important note about like reproductive health in the 70s is big year 1973, Roe versus Wade gets passed. This is the Supreme Court case that's currently like kind of under threat right now that protects our right to get an abortion. So this is a landmark decision in which the Supreme Court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. There was something in the 60s that was similar to that because my grandma definitely tried to do that to my mom. I took 3 pills in one day and got so sick, do not recommend. Yeah, see what I mean? That's what I mean. It's not recommended to DIY it, but people do it. The case began in 1970 when Jane Roe, which is a fictional name used to protect the identity of Norma McCorvey, who is now public and deceased, unfortunately, RIP, instituted federal action against Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, Texas, where Roe resided. The Supreme Court disagreed with Roe's assertion of an absolute right to terminate a pregnancy in any way at any time and attempted to balance a woman's right to privacy with a state's interest in regulating abortion. In his opinion, Blackmun noted that only a compelling state interest justifies regulation limiting fundamental rights such as privacy that legislators must therefore draw. This is boring, I'm sorry, I'm like not into this legal jargon. But here's the important part. With that regard to the fetus, the court located that the capability of meaningful life outside the other room or viability occurs at about 24 weeks. So the Supreme Court did say that they're not supposed to pass restrictions on things before that. So yeah, that's basically Roe versus Wade, got passed in 1973. So we're going to look at some stats. So this is the number of deaths from abortion. Roe versus Wade got passed in 73. That's right here. If you look at the number of deaths from abortions, they go down super dramatically. So you can see, obviously, an abortion is something that has existed for all of human history. It will exist as long as humans are alive and reproducing. So you can see it. Roe versus Wade is like what gives us safety in abortion because they existed before. They were just extremely, extremely dangerous. And then here are U.S. abortion rates. So the 1970s, this is when Roe got passed. This is number of abortions per 1,000 women. So it was 16 in 1973. It went up pretty dramatically because you have to imagine before this, most people weren't reporting. You're not going to be like, hey, Department of Health, I DIY'd an abortion in my bathroom. So it's like hard to get accurate data about the ones that were actually done. But you can see dropped very low in 2017. It's only 13.5. It went down, 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 down. So it's not even as common. It's still common, obviously, very normal. Lots of women do this. Lots of people do this, I should say. See, working on it. Does your drink have sugar in it? It does. It has a lot of sugar in it. I'm a big sugar fiend, sugar drinker. So Roe versus Wade is passed. Let's talk about more birth control stuff. You can see this is in the 90s. We get the Depo shot, a birth control shot. Has anyone had a good or bad experience with the Depo shot? I've heard very mixed reviews. One person I know is convinced like one of her boobs is a lot bigger than the other, and she thinks it's because she got the Depo shot on the same side every time, and she thinks that's what caused it, and I believe her. Have you guys tried the Depo shot? I've only heard bad experiences on Depo. It seems like, to me, injecting all of it once every 3 months seems kind of scary to me. I had Depo, it worked fine for me. So, this is a funny story. When I was in high school, my mom always told me I wasn't allowed to have sex in high school. She said once I got to college, it was my business, but I was not allowed to have sex in high school. And then I was like, well, what are you going to do if I have sex in high school? And she was like, well, I would make you go on birth control, obviously. And then I was like, what if I refuse to take it? And she told me that if I refused to take birth control, she was going to force me to get the Depo shot so that she could watch it being injected into my arm. Which it never came to that, and I don't think she would actually do that if push came to shove. But I was like, God damn, you've really thought everything through. She bled for 6 months straight. Oh, I'm out. I'm immediately out. This is why It started causing migraines after each shot. This is why I'm like so afraid of birth control, because like every time I ask people, I'm like, hey, do you like this birth control? This is what I get. This is my chat right now. I've only heard bad experiences on Depo. I had Depo, worked fine for me. I gained 20 pounds and stopped. I just hear a lot of people get pregnant. I'm on Depo and I love it. Loved the shot, was on it for 2 years. It started causing migraines. I know someone on Depo and I've never heard a complaint. My mom was on Depo and that's how we got my little brother. I had a friend who was on Depo and was fine. My boyfriend's sister got a shot. I don't know if it was Depo, and she bled for 6 months. Like, oh my God. I like how someone said legally she couldn't do that. Like my mother has ever been bound by the confines of the law. She would find a way. My mom made me get Nexaplon when I was 17 for the same reason. I mean, Depo worked, but the last period I had was the most painful of my life and was super long. God, it's so scary. My sister is in high school and lost weight. Recently went back on it. She said it's making her gain weight now. Scorpio plant Twitch. Like, I'm just overwhelmed. There's no good option. Like, everything is so mixed. It's scary. I've had bad experience with birth control. Me too. I've never been able to find one that like worked. For like, they were effective, but they didn't work for me. Like, I was like suffering. As soon as I got my period, my stepmom said I was going on the pill. No, ma'am. Oh my God. The only thing I haven't heard horror stories about is the patch. What's the patch? Interesting. Okay. While someone types out what the patch is, very curious about that. Let's keep it pushing. Look, we only have 10 slides left. We're like pretty good at adhering to our time today. 39:30. Oh my God. Okay. So. Okay, so however, like involuntary sterilization, judges and policymakers have at times coercively used LARCs, which is the like long-acting reversible contraception, Depo, whatever, on people of color and low-income people, especially teens in urban areas, as well as immigrants and disabled people. I'm on the ring and I love it. I've never had any symptoms. I've been off it for 2 years. My period is normal. I had it once and cried for 3 months straight. My hand is killing me, but I'm pushing through it. But how much further? Not far at all. Less than 10 slides, and some of them are funsies. Okay. Then the FDA, I almost said the FBI. Stupid. The FDA approves the first female condom, a pouch that's inserted before intercourse. I have questions about those. I'm intrigued and nervous. The only thing I hate about the ring is having to keep it in the fridge. Yeah, that would be annoying. Maybe I'll ask about the ring. Interesting. Who knows? And then in 1999, the FDA approves Plan B. 1998, they had Prevent, and then Plan B was in 1999. Not me being born the year after Plan B came out, or the year before Plan B came out, I mean. Now they're not wanting to treat women with hormones for menopause. It's cruel. This is my favorite song right now. Bro, the song I Will Survive, I listened, like, that song hits different after you've been in an abusive relationship. Like, I've always liked that song, but when I listened to it after that, I was like, oh, you did something with these lyrics. You did something with these lyrics. It's a great song. Gloria Gaynor knew what she had to do with that song. It's literally, I listen to it so often. I listen to it multiple times a day, and I fucking feel that shit in my soul. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Exactly. She gets it. What was it? It's like thinking how you did me wrong, but then I grew strong. It's a great song. I should get a tattoo for that song. Oh my God. Wait. Help me pick a tattoo. So I just got Inkbox tattoos. Let me show you. Actually, we'll finish the Nearpod and then we'll do that. Sorry. Let me focus. I'm being a good teacher today. So let's move into the 2000s. So in the 2000s, we saw lots more birth control, improvements on birth control, all of that. And then in 2006, the FDA approves the over-the-counter sale of Plan B and emergency contraception, which is great. So now you don't need a prescription for those. You can buy them over the counter as long as you are 18, as of 2006. Now anyone can buy them, I think. Then in 2010, we got the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, which prohibits sex discrimination in health insurance and requires coverage of all preventative health care without copays. And in 2011, the Obama administration issues regulations defining preventative health care to include all FDA-approved forms of contraception. So under the ACA, your insurance is supposed to pay for that stuff. So, here's some more stuff that you can see about FDA approvals. Then in 2013, now you can buy Plan B over the counter if you are under 18, which is awesome for health, all the things. And then 2013, North Carolina creates Office for Justice of Sterilization Victims. And a year later, Virginia becomes the second state to do that. So there are some states. Oh, but if you're fat, Plan B does little to nothing. Isn't it 160, which is like not even overweight, I think, for most heights? Yeah. It's like 160 or 180 or something like that. Plan B doesn't work. And then in 2014, the Supreme Court rules in Burwell versus Hobby Lobby stores that employers with religious obligations can refuse to cover contraception on their health insurance plans. I remember when this got passed and I got in an argument with my art teacher about it, and he was a man and he was saying like, oh, if I ran a company, you should be able to cover what you blah, blah, blah. If a woman's upset with it, she can work at a different company. And I yelled at him in class, and then he told me to like calm down. Then in 2017, the Trump administration, trigger warning, Donald Trump, expands religious exemptions to mandate employers of any size, even publicly traded businesses, and adds an exemption for moral obligations. And then Trump administration imposes a domestic gag rule on the Title X healthcare clinics providing contraception to low-income women, resulting in a 50% decrease in availability of reproductive health services. This little orange-ass, bitch-ass motherfucker, Donald Trump, caused a 50% decrease in the availability of reproductive health services. Actually, I think you need a prescription for Ella, too. Oh, interesting. So this is my logic with Trump. I don't think Trump fucking cared about this. I think the Republicans knew that Trump didn't give a shit and, like, used him to push through a lot of this stuff. So they're like, oh, it's Trump's administration. And obviously he was the president, so he could have stopped it, so it's still his fault. Like, I'm not trying to, like, not hold him accountable or whatever, but I don't think it was his idea. Like, I think he was just like, yeah, fucking whatever, man, do that shit. Which is the work. God, I hated him being in office, and I hate that. Like, we're going to be dealing with it for a while. People that are like, yay, he's out of office now. Like, he is, but we will feel the wounds for a while. Watching your streams in a conservative house with headphones is a fun time. I wish I could, like, pat you on the head right now. Are you okay? You're in a conservative house. Do you need me to come pick you up? I can come pick you up. I'm on the way. Me and my Honda CR-V are coming. We're coming. In 2020, the Supreme Court in Trump versus Pennsylvania upheld the Trump's religious and moral exemptions, blocking access to insurance-covered birth control for tens of thousands of people and disproportionately harming low-income women. And then today, these battles are still raging. Yeah. It's a whole mess. Me seeing our country move in the wrong direction for the last 10 years on this one. Like, when I see all the recent legislation around, like, birth control and things like that, I'm like, why are we going the wrong way? Like, at this point, I thought we'd be able to get it from, like, a vending machine. I lived in a conservative household for 22 years, so you will make it out stronger. Oh my God, blink twice if you need help. She hasn't answered. Did someone hear? Did someone come up behind her and see the chat? But yeah, it's terrifying. And more than a quarter of the restrictions of abortion access have been passed between 2011 and 2015. So Roe versus Wade passed in 73. This graph is showing abortion restrictions. You can see they started to pop off in the Obama years and then continue to under the Trump years. This one only goes to 2015. Okay, so bad vibes at the court. This is all the examples of the Supreme Court not doing a good job protecting our right to have an abortion. I'm so glad my parents got divorced and I got to live with my certified conservative hater mom. We love when you get the correctly politically aligned parent in the divorce. So happy for you. Yes, I will go back to the graph. This one? There you go. Lena's crushing it with the notes. We've been medically going the wrong way a while for those in chronic health issues. I've been screaming about it, but we're being ignored. I'm ready to agree with you and want to learn more if you want to send me anything. Like, ready to agree with you, ready to learn more. My extreme conservative mother-in-law heard this from down the hall, made me happy since she plays Fox so much. Cute penguin love. Happy for you. Happy that you got that moment. So this is all the times that the Supreme Court had bad vibes when it comes to abortion and Roe versus Wade type stuff. So in 1980, the court decided in Harris versus McRae, which upheld the Hyde Amendment, which banned federal dollars from funding abortions except in cases of rape, incest, or life endangerment. Those funds include Medicaid, which many low-income women rely on for their health care. So, like, I have private health insurance. If I needed to get that procedure, if I needed to get an abortion, my health insurance would probably cover a fair amount of it. I hope. I have Aetna. They're pretty good. But anyway, I mean, all health insurance is bad, but like Aetna is better than other ones that I've had. But if I was on Medicaid, my insurance would not cover those things. Are your parents not conservative? I assumed all Gen X parents from Georgia were conservative, with millennials since Gen Z kids. So my mom is actually not from Georgia. She grew up in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., so my mom has been very liberal for her entire life. My dad grew up conservative, but not super politically active. Like, his family usually voted conservatively, but politics were not really a big deal to him. And then my mom converted him. They started dating, like, I don't know, in like the 80s. And she was like, you're coming over to my team, which is interesting because now my dad is way more leftist than my mom is. Like, they actually were arguing a little bit. Like, in the 2016 election, like the primaries, my mom was Hillary all the way and my dad was Bernie all the way. And it was like to them, like, they not serious, like neither one of them hated that other candidate, but it was like a thing they would kind of go back and forth on, because my dad didn't really like Hillary and my mom was like, you're just being misogynistic, and he was like, I'm literally not. Bernie is just like more aligned to my views. And I was the Bernie in 2016 as well. My mom does kind of give like typical, like, you know that sign where it's like, in this household, love is love, like, we support science, like all of that. You know the sign I'm talking about? That's my mom. Like, that's her brand of politics. Is really her. Okay. So, 2 Supreme Court decisions in the mid-2000s set the legal stage for anti-abortion lawmaking. So this graph we saw of the anti-abortion restrictions, these are the 2 Supreme Court things that kind of not caused that, but like set the stage for it. So I don't think I'm saying that correctly, versus Planned Parenthood was a case that allowed courts to strike only the unconstitutional parts of an anti-abortion law without striking the entire law. That helped encourage states pass omnibus with many different provisions, because some would get struck down and others would stick. So this made it kind of like, oh, if we just do a bunch of things, some of them will stick. The other one is more well-known. Gonzalez versus Cahart in 2007 upheld a partial birth abortion ban. It's upholding that law. It gave the court wide discretion to pass legislation in areas where there is medical and scientific uncertainty. So that's the thing that scares me the most, is like that court decisions can be made without scientific certainty, because like scientists, I trust them more than anybody, you know? And this is me to the Supreme Court at any given moment. Seriously. I kind of like this one for the class photo. What are we thinking? Because I feel like the Catholic one is not obvious enough. I'm going to do this one too. Everyone smile, class photo. Like the Catholic one just doesn't really look that funny. Like you have to dig into the details, and it's a thumbnail, so it's going to be tiny. So I'm thinking this one is the vibe. So everyone smile. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, I like the other one. Not going to lie. That's fair. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we're almost to the game. This is a long stream and you guys stuck through it. We're still at 89 viewers. We love that. Okay, so in 2020, U.S. state policies enacted to restrict abortion outnumbered policies to protect it, but policies overall have decreased dramatically. So you can see in orange, these are abortion restrictions, and then in green, these are abortion protections. So, scary. This one doesn't scream birth control, which is my only holdback. Ooh, another good point. Do I have any other ones? Okay, so, I put this in the wrong order. We're going to play the game now, and then I have a drawing activity for you for while we hang out at the end of the stream, where I can talk about my new tattoos that I might be getting, well, fake ones. So, we're going to play the game. We are powering through. We made it. We're going to play the game. The Nearpod. Let me turn the little noises off. Which one do we want to do? Can you wait 1 sec? Yes, I will wait 1 sec. We'll do the carnival one because the Supreme Court is full of fucking clowns. That's why we're going to do the carnival one, because it's fitting, because all these people are fucking clowns. So, we're still waiting. I'm not starting it yet, but go ahead and pick your little people. If you are not on Nearpod and you want to join, there it is, chat. Oh my God, there's new people. These are different. Is it because it's because it's the carnival it's different. Oh, that's fun. I love that for us. But I have the song TikTok by Kesha stuck in my head. Okay, while you guys are picking your little characters, I'm going to show you the ink box tattoo that I just put on, and then I'm going to go get the other ones so we can discuss which ones I should put on and where I should put them. So let me show you this one. Also, I think it's so funny because I told my boyfriend, and I was like, I kind of want to get tattoos, but I don't. Oh my God, welcome Jessica, welcome back. So we're all picking our characters. I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I kind of want to get tattoos, but I don't know what I want to get or where I want to get it. So I'm going to get these ink box tattoos and kind of play around with them to decide. And then of course, because he's a man, he was like, oh, you should get something sexy. You should put it in like a sexy spot. And so this is what he's about to see when I get to his house after I'm done here. You can't see it, but it's a boot on my ankle and it says yeehaw. Isn't that funny? I'm so like, no one makes me laugh like I do. I think that's so funny. He's literally gonna be like, I'm so happy you're happy. Okay, so let me go get the other tattoos while you're continuing to pick your little characters. I'll give people a couple more seconds and then I'll hit start. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna keep talking to you. You can probably still hear me and see my pelvis. Where'd they go? Here they are. Okay. So, I'm dead. It's picking up myself by the bootstraps. Mike! Okay, there's 25 of you here, and I haven't seen anyone join in a second, so I'm going to hit start, and I'll let you focus on your game, and then we'll get my tattoos. Oh, I like this music. I love my yeehaw tattoo. It's blue right now. It'll turn black like tomorrow. Love the delay before the game. My mom called me. Perfect timing. Love that for us. I like this music. It's chill. I told you this one was going to be on here. Oh, you hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I hate that for you. R.I.P. I'm also going to put these chips back. I'm going to be working efficiently. This is like when I was a teacher, I would like put the game on and then I'd be like, get shit done. You have like 5 minutes to get shit done. Natural flavor birth control. Lemon is actually my favorite scent and flavor. I love citrus. Love citrus for candles. Love citrus for everything. Oh, I keep leaving my candle at my boyfriend's house. I need to remember to bring my candle to work because I bought a really nice Bath & Body Works candle for me and my coworker. We share like a desk and I bought a really nice one for us and I keep leaving it at my boyfriend's house. Okay, I'm gonna go put these chips back. I'll be right back. Everyone play the game. Focus. Don't kill each other while I'm gone. Mike is gonna watch you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Good, all of you are still here. I got it wrong. I'm gonna be kicked. This is a hard question. This is a hard game, to be honest. Pretty specific. Oh, I want to see what happens if I try and join the game right now, if it lets me in. I've always mean to do this, and I always forget. I'm going to join it on my phone. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's like trying to open the app and shit. I'm like suffering. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I want to see what happens when you try and join the game late. The hater law. I couldn't think of one. I told you guys I was in a rush. It was brutal out here. Okay. Let's see if it lets me join. It does let you join. Even if you're late, it still lets you join. The incel law. I'm glad you all are appreciating my humor. So if you just joined, you can still join the game. Oh wait, does it? Yeah. Oh, you guys, I got it right. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start playing on my phone. This is a vibe. It's pretty good on the phone. Like, for those of you that are debating using this in class, if you don't have computers, it's pretty good on a phone. Oh, and it shows the little mountain on my phone is way better, too. I'm glad you guys can see the little mountain. For those of you that are not joining Nearpod, you can see all the little people, like, climb up, or the little animals climb up a mountain, and you can see, like, who's winning is at the top of the mountain. Oh, I just showed you the answer. Sorry, it's Brooklyn. Oopsies. Sorry. This is a long stream. I haven't done over 2 hours in a while. Once I made a time to climb for my Spanish class and my teacher got like a third of the questions wrong. Sometimes if I had like random kids in my room or like extra time, I would find trivia games on like Quizlet and like Bookit and stuff like that, and I would always lose them. And kids would be like, "You're really dumb," and I was like, "Yeah, I kind of am." Broken. I'll fix her. Thank you. Oh my god, and we're almost done with the game. Okay. I fixed it. Thank you, Lena, for letting me know about the chat. You always come in clutch with that. God, I answered late. I'm not winning. This feels like a university lecture in the best way. I'm glad. I hope it's like a good vibes university lecture. The vibe, let me turn my volume down. The vibe that I want to create on my stream is like when all the people leave class and you're like, you stay after to ask a question and a few other people do, and then it turns to like good vibes only and your professor's being like super chill with you. That's the vibe I try to curate, is like where it's like the teacher and they're still being the teacher, but like it's like chill is like the vibe I'm going for. I'm glad that I'm hearing positive feedback about this and that I've achieved that. Us and sex and gender, but in here now. No, literally. No comment on the fact that I missed one. It was a bad moment. It never happened. All right, so. Oh my god, and then look at what it is on here. I'm glad I did it from here. Look. It has the little people. This used to come up on the big screen, which I like a lot better. So in number one place, we have Apples, then Lizzie Love, then Drea, then Nikki, Evil Peach, Jessica, Betty Crocker, Lena, Alyssa, Miguel, Arkan Moringa, Max, Heather K, Sierra, Birdie, Allison Loomis, Quarter Life Crisis, Daphne, Michaela, Nicole, May, Grace, Miss Redacted in 23rd place, Willow, Steele, Georgia, and then some other people that I think we're not answering because they have 0. I don't know how that's possible. All right. I'm not going to hang out for a super long time just because it is almost 10 p.m., but I wanted to give you the chance to draw your feelings. So instead of doing a collaborate board at the end, which actually, let me do a collaborate board for Lena's notes before we draw, because I know Lena has notes to give us. I always forget that. So Lena, here's a collaborate board so that you can put your notes on here. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that, and then we can all hang out and draw for a little bit, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. I'm glad you learn a lot from these streams, Apples. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. I vote McDonald's. I had McDonald's breakfast for lunch. Because I ordered McDonald's breakfast, and then it took too long getting here, and then I was in meetings, and I didn't have time to eat it till lunch, so I had to put it in the air fryer. But I got a sausage McMuffin, and so I kind of want to get chicken sandwich. Bestie, if you're not eating dinner till 10, what time do you sleep? So normally I eat dinner before I stream. Like normally I do, but I didn't really have time to do that today, so I just ate a little snacky snack. But I usually go to sleep at midnight. I like to eat dinner right before I go to sleep, though. It's honestly kind of a vibe. The Panera chicken sandwich slaps. I don't have a Panera near me. This is the first stream I've ever made live, and I'm so glad. I usually just watch them on YouTube. Michaela Hansen, thank you for being here live. We appreciate you. We love that for us. She did die, though. She was truly a lot, yeah. Okay. I'll give Lena a couple minutes with the notes. We'll all hang out here. Thanks all for being here. I have a lot of text messages. Who's texting me right now? Okay. Lena, let me know when you're ready for the notes, and I'll put this back up here. I'll just give you time right now because I'm sure this was a lot of notes. I'm sure you're reformatting and doing all the cute and gorgeous things. The nails tapping on the phone is a nice ASMR. Okay, so I wanted to give you time to draw your feelings about the U.S. history of birth control legislation. If you're looking at my screen right now, this is how this works. Here's the pen. You can change colors. There's a highlighter. You can also include pictures. Like if you do this, it has a little Google search option. My screen is super tiny, so it's not going to work. Your black denim pants as a staple for teacher clothes changed the game for me, and I've been subbing for 5 years. Black denim is the staple. She truly is. You can also add text. You can also erase. So I want to give you the chance to draw your feelings about the U.S. history of birth control legislation. Oh, Lena, I guess you could also just put your image on here. Would also work. So this is perfect. We're all good. I don't know if Lena's still here. It's late. But yeah. Oh my God, Betty Crocker, the sad face. Let me see. I'm going to say all the people at the top are the people that joined first. So I know a lot of them have already hopped off. So let me scroll down and see. Lots of sad faces. The government. I like this. The drawing one is new, and I like it, and I'm into it. We're going to do this again. Oh my God, the fucking chat is broken again. I hate it here. I'm going to add it. I'm going to hang out till probably like 10. Okay, let me show you guys my tattoos. We'll do this while you're drawing, and I'll just like keep your drawings up here because they're entertaining me. I submitted my feelings. It's the notes. Oh my God, perfect. Lena, where are you? Lena? Lena? Can't find you. Oh, here they are. Oh, it's like not gonna, it doesn't let me open it big in another tab. Fuck. Hold on, I have an idea. I have an idea, Lena. Bear with me. Everyone else keep drawing. But I'm going to quick launch this collaborate board for you to add your notes to. This is the fucking vibes right here. Wait, quick launch, yeah. That's what I want. All right, so I'm going to leave that Nearpod up. Everyone ignore the chat except for Lena. The chat right now is exclusively for Lena. Ignore the chat if you are not Lena. Lena, there you go. Don't apologize. I just didn't want to interrupt people's drawings because it erases them. But Lena, you can put the notes on the collaborate board and it'll let me open it big. As a teacher who's on break right now, it's refreshing to learn and vibe in peace. Yeah, it is refreshing to learn and vibe in peace. The government needs to get off my uterus. I completely agree. Boo. Tomatoes on the Supreme Court. I'm going to screenshot these and put them on Twitter. Oh, damn it. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Oh, my God. These are so funny. Like in a depressing way. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. These are hilarious. Shout out to you all for my free Twitter content. Clues. Rude. The shit, very much so. The tomato. The tomato is getting me. It's posted. I don't know why she's not showing up. Let me try and refresh it. Your Nearpod screen is blank. You have to draw. We're drawing. There we go. That's what we're fucking talking about. Open image in new tab. There we go. We got there, Lena. Here's Lena's notes. Holy shit. This is literally like the best notes I've seen in my entire life. The way you still liked the post even before you saw the notes. I support. It's on my screen, I swear. Yeah, I refreshed it and it showed up. My computer was being stupid. Can you copy the link to the notes? I don't know how that works. Is there a link to the notes? Yeah. Oh, I know how it works. It's a little blurry. Do you want me to redo the photo? It's up to you. Oh, there isn't an option for you to draw. Try and refresh the page. Sometimes she's just acts mad stupid and you have to refresh the page. Here's the link to the notes. No worries, still having fun. We're still living, laughing, and loving. No, I think we can read it. I think we're good. I love this. I stand this. Let me see if any other drawings have come through. We love the poop emoji drawing. Slay, I made Mitch McConnell into a clown. Oh my God, wait, this one got even better. Oh my God, I love the drawing. The refresh worked. Thanks for being smarter than me. I'm not smarter than you. I just have more Nearpod experience than you. Boo, corny. I'm sure you can hear my little screenshot noises. Like, what the fuck is the government doing? Literally. Where's the Mitch McConnell clown one? Have you submitted it? Where'd she go? Oh, there it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, let me show you all my tattoos. Enough. Enough. Okay, let me focus. I'm going to show you my tattoos. Me and my poop drawing have our 15 minutes. You obviously have your 15 minutes of fame. Okay, so I'm going to show you these tattoos so I can get your opinion, and then I'm going to hop off for the night because it is like 10 p.m. Actually, let me text my boyfriend and see if we're getting McDonald's. Okay. He won't answer my question. He asked me to pick. I don't want to pick. Okay, these are the tattoos that I got. I need you to tell me. Actually, don't read the photo. I guess I have to gatekeep quality notes. Don't LOL. I have a history project I'm starting as soon as this is done. Good for you. So these are do your project. It's going to be great. These are the tattoos that I bought. I have no idea where I want to put them. It's pretty open. My work doesn't have any type of rules around that. So oh, fuck. Maybe ring light down. There we go. One is this butterfly with a shadow. Very basic white woman tattoo. Very basic. Oh my God, now the little light, it feels like a little seance. The chat is broken. Okay. Normally I wouldn't fix it this close to the end, but because we're all putting in our opinion about these tattoos, I want to fix it. The little ring light being like almost all the way off makes this feel like so very intimate and very wholesome. It's giving summer camp horror story time. That's exactly what it's giving. Okay. So, butterfly may be basic, but it's always cute. Exactly. We have this little butterfly. I was thinking like right here for her. Fuck, I have a butterfly. I might be getting one, so truly no shade. I've done this one before. This is Mucha. This is my favorite. Last time I did her right here. I think I want to do her right here again, but I'm not 100% sure. Next up, we have a jellyfish. Have no plans for her. Have no idea where we're putting her. Then we also, I'm saving the best for last, by the way. We also have this flower guy. I was thinking about doing her like right here, but I don't know. And then, love the jelly. I also love the jelly. Oh, my email, it has 2 T's. Thank you, Jessica, but it has 2 T's. A Walmart parking lot was taken at gmail.com. It's okay. You're all good. I'd love her on the ribs, though. Oh, this guy? Like right here, you mean? I'd be into that. Oh, the jellyfish on the ribs. Like, I was thinking maybe right here. I was also thinking jellyfish, like, here. There is another spot. And then I almost just fell. And then the very best one for last, I have no idea where I'm going to put it. I think I might do it on my like forearm again, just because it's funny, so I want people to see it. Look at him. It's the Grim Reaper on a skateboard. Oh, the standing lady on the ribs. Oh, she could be a vibe here. She could be. Man, well, it's 10 p.m. It's getting to be my bedtime. I want the Grim Reaper one. These are from Inkbox. I tried to get a brand deal with them. They were not into it. I think the jellyfish should be a thigh moment, like a upper side thigh moment. I'm glad you all are like into my ideas here. But yeah. Okay. I have to go. I need to go get some food and eat and then watch TV. The most important things in life. Eating and watching TV. Okay, this was great. Thank you so much for coming to stream. Dusty Croissant, love this little thing you just submitted. Thank you for coming. I love you. I live with you. Is your email a Microsoft one? It's not. It's a Gmail. That's weird. What? At gmail.com. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, good night. See you on Monday. Monday, we're probably going to do like a few education horror stories, some people spilling work tea, all that stuff. Thank you for those of you who are here live. Love you. Good night. Make good choices. Bye-byes.